connecting to the real nerds is so easy. You can go to our website, realnerdspodcast.com. You can like us on Facebook. We have a Twitter account, @RealNerds. We also have Instagram. You can call us, 720-6nerds5. You want to email us? You can do that too, realnerds@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and enjoy the show.
Hi, my name is Paul Caroli, and I host a podcast called Changing Denver. It's a monthly show about our city's physical spaces, how we make them, and how they make us. But it's so much more than that. It's the conversations, ideas, and stories that define Denver's perpetual state of flux. Find more from our team at changingdenver.com and join the conversation on Twitter @ChangingDenver. Denver's changing. We can help.
Hello, everyone. I'm Giles.
I'm Emily.
And I'm Michelle.
And we're the Beyond the Trope podcast.
Every week, we delve into topics like pop culture, fiction writing, and other nerdy things.
We feature laid-back conversations, bad puns, and in-depth interviews with authors, comic creators, and more.
Find our show at beyondthetrope.com.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Palmiotti, and you're listening to Real Nerds Podcast. Now pay attention and stop playing with your dick.
Welcome to the Real Nerds Podcast, unofficially the official podcast. Wait, what's going on?
So, I'll get into the podcast. Welcome to Real Nerds Podcast, unofficially the official podcast of Denver Comic Con 2018 and beyond. I am Ryan. With me always is
Henry
and
Zach
and
James
and
Brad.
The whole crew.
Man.
And I was gone for a week, and so it takes me a while to get down here, so I listened to the whole episode on my way down.
Oh, cool.
And energy, guys, lacking.
What?
I need you to bring it up a little bit. Zach derailed conversations 3 times.
Well, yeah.
So pay attention to what the fuck you're saying.
That's why he's
And you're
here.
saying probably less cocaine this time.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Because the man is back to run this place like it's supposed to be fucking ran.
Who man?
I'm the man.
Oh, okay.
It's probably been like a month since we've all been on.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Every week on Real Nerds Podcast, we go see a new movie and we podcast our experience to the world. This week, we saw Atomic Blonde. Stay tuned till the end of the show where we will review the movie and spoil it and tell you if you should see it or not. Oh, yeah, there's some. I guess there's some spoiler
There's some
parts
stuff
in
to
it.
spoil, yeah. This ain't no John Wick. He kills people.
He does.
Spoilers.
But we also talk about movies and watching movie news and other movie stuff. And first of all, your first of 2 guys, your eulogy for George A. Romero, garbage.
I think our eulogy was, man, we wish Ryan was here.
Yeah.
It was.
And then I made fun of you.
You made fun of me. It was horrible, too. So trying to make fun of me the way I make fun of people, Zach, just shows your limited ability for comedic effect. So work on it.
Okay.
Man.
I just came in throwing zingers.
Seriously.
I'm just imagining Simon Cowell took Ryan, skinned him, and is now wearing him as a suit.
Like an Egger suit.
And also, if you're going to give news about how he died, make sure it's right. He died of an aggressive fight with cancer that he just got diagnosed with a few weeks ago. So, yeah. Fuck you guys. Just kidding.
What did we say? I don't remember.
You said cancer, but you're like, I think it was cancer. One of you. I just listened to it. It's really fresh
Isn't
in
that
my
cancer?
mind.
Yeah, it
What's
sounds
the
like
difference
cancer to
between
me.
cancer and cancer? I guess you said aggressive cancer.
Find
Yes.
out this week on What is Cancer.
He died of the 28 days later of cancers.
No.
They run
later. It's not a zombie movie.
They run fast.
Irony.
They infect quickly.
But I'll just say real quick. I think I've told her this on the episode a lot, but I think Night of the Living Dead is the scariest horror film ever made. Mm-hmm. And I have my memory of it and how I really got into it is I got a 99-cent video cassette of it when my grandmother took us to Walgreens. And she said, "Oh, you boys can pick any movie you want." My brothers picked like Tom and Jerry and some other cartoon. And I'm like, Night of the Living Dead.
Cool.
And I could never watch the end when the zombies came pouring in. It took me a while. I still think it's holds up really well.
That was like your Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, exactly. And I agree. One of you guys said something about the Jigsaw trailer that it's way too like clean. Yeah,
Well, I think
said
Brad
that.
and I were both kind
Yeah,
of
it's
like
like
on that.
it seems like a corporate Saw movie. It's weird.
Yeah.
Even I felt that way, and I've only seen the first one and think it's not good.
Yeah,
Like,
'cause
I watched the trailer and I was like, what is this movie?
Because the poster's pretty sweet. The poster conveys it well, but I'm watching the trailer. I'm like, what is this, like a cleaned up version of Saw?
It looks like if Platinum Dunes made a
Yes.
Saw movie.
But with not very much money.
I'm wondering if the color's not done yet.
It has to be because there's no I don't know, something wrong.
They haven't
with
run it through their sepia filter on Instagram yet to make it look good.
I'm just saying, where are all the shit-filled walls? Like, why isn't poof flung against the white wall?
You're gonna find out that like the new Jigsaw is like this anal retentive Anthony Perkins dude.
Howard Hughes type of thing.
Dude, if it was just Anthony Perkins,
Oh shit!
I would watch that movie.
I want
It's
to
like
play
the-
a game.
It's like the Birdman of horror films, where it's literally Anthony Perkins playing himself.
Yep.
I would watch that.
Anyway,
Yeah.
cool. What else has been going on, Ryan? You got a house.
I did get a house.
Man.
I've been busy.
Yeah, you
Mr.
built a
Frost
fence?
fills his dream home.
Fencing.
Sounds exciting.
How's the podcast done coming?
The house
don't
doesn't
have one.
The house doesn't have a basement.
Yeah.
None of our dreams are coming true.
No, and it's actually I've made my wife feel bad. I was kind of joking, but not really. So we bought a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, and so eventually we want to have another baby. But so we have a spare bedroom, and so now there's weird room. So you go in the house, and the bedrooms are all in the back, and when you go to the right to the master bedroom, there's like this section of the wall that's kind of out. It must have been used a closet or something, and there's no doors or anything. And so I put my comics in there, and I told my wife, I'm like, bought my own house and still don't have my own comic room.
Oh.
And my wife's like, but you could set them up in here.
Oh.
I mean, you can get to them.
You're such
easily.
a dick.
I was just being an asshole. But
We could use that second bathroom as a podcast room.
we could.
Just sit in the toilet.
Yeah. But then you guys would always have to drive up there.
Yeah.
This
should
week
make
we
you do
saw
that.
Avengers Infinity War. Hold on one second.
We can trade back and forth. I rehung all my comics this last week.
Nice.
Yeah. It felt really good. I used those. It's those same frames that you and I have used before, but I used those little like 3M double stick
nice.
foam tape things, so they're all lined up really great. They look so good.
Yeah, I actually had this surreal moment, speaking of comics. So I'm going to have to rewind about a month, and when we went to Denver Comic-Con. So lately I've been collecting Satana comics.
Yes.
And for those of you who are uninitiated, Satana is a 1970s succubus who's like, the best way to describe her is she's like Cheesecake from the 70s, where her only purpose is to look sexy and like suck the souls of men. And some of her stories are okay, but most
Out
of
of
the
their
time
butts.
it's like, yes, out of their butts. And
It's a weird part of her
no,
character.
she like she kisses them and like sucks their souls out, and then she spits out like a butterfly.
Ooh,
Like visually, it's really cool.
that's neat.
And she was designed by John Romita, so she looks great. She's a really striking character. And so,
But she's basically a very attractive, busty woman in like a black one piece.
yeah, that has
Swimsuit.
like a diamond that cuts out her cleavage.
Oh, yeah.
So it's so George is Jonty, who's been on the show, and I keep on forgetting to email you the interview. But so we have a great interview with him, and the first day of the con, I said, "Hey, Georges, would you mind doing a full figure of Satana?" And I said, I can give you a reference if you don't know who that is. Like, I know who that is from the old Marvel black and white stuff. He's like, I love that stuff. He said, yeah, but send me a text message with a picture of her, and I'll just so I can have a reference, and I'll design it. I said, okay. So on Saturday of the con, he's like, hey, I started it, but I want to make sure it's good. I should have it done. And then I did the panel with him, and then after the panel, his booth was inundated with tons of people because he's charming and funny, and his art's amazing.
Yeah.
And so while we were there, me and James picked up original comic book pages.
We did. Oh,
And he told me, he said, hey, Ryan, I'm not going to finish it, but you saw that I started it. If you want, I can mail it to you. I said, yeah, sure. And I said, I'll take this piece of original art, too. And he gave me a discount on it. He's so nice.
Yeah.
He's like, you don't have to give me a discount. I'll just buy it. But anyway, so my original art's awesome. It's like another page, like James is where she's like fighting lizard men. I don't know what she's doing. It's awesome.
yeah. It's like a page or two after mine.
Yeah, because I haven't read that comic yet, but she's fighting lizard men and throwing them. So he said, yeah, don't worry. I'll send it to you. I said, no, I'm not worried about it. I don't care. And then as about 3 weeks passed, I'm like, he's busy because I know he's drawing another book for DC, a monthly book, and I was like, whatever. If he sends it to me, cool. If not, I still paid like normal price for original art page and an original sketch, which, whatever. And I didn't care. And so I forget what day it was, but I'm sitting in my car, my phone rings. It's fucking George's Jaunty. And I was like, what the fuck? So I say, hey, man. He's like, hey, I want to let you know I didn't forget about you. I'm like, oh, I'm not worried about it.
He's like, I was just sitting here having lunch with Joss Whedon, and we were talking about how great you are.
Say hi, Joss.
Yeah, and so he's like, I
don't know why I made it give him a
I said, oh,
broken
no, I didn't
accent.
forget about you. I know you didn't forget about me. I know you're busy. You have that new monthly book from DC, and you're, busy. He said, yeah, I tell you what, I'm going to send you a text message of I finished your Satana, so I'm going to send you what it looks like, and I'll mail it out sometime this week. I said, oh, yeah, cool. He's like, yeah, I just want you to let you know I just didn't take your money and run. I said, Georges, it's not a big deal. I said, you've given me for free 3 previous commissioned artwork. I'm not that worried about it.
Plus, I know where you live.
And he sent me the finished product, and it's fucking amazing.
It's so cool.
So it's all black and white except her hair he highlighted in red.
Ooh.
And it's pretty awesome. So I'm hoping it comes sometime this week.
Yeah,
I hadn't sent it to my in-laws' house because I didn't want it to get bent up in my P.O. box.
Yeah,
So-
it looks really good.
It was the most surreal phone call I ever got. I mean, I saved his number, obviously, because he's like, yeah, take it. Call me whenever you want. I'm not going to call him. You know what I mean? Because he doesn't want to hear from me. He's like, hey, remember Ryan from Real Nerds? What the fuck do you want, dude? I'm just kidding. He's not
You
like
want
that.
some more free shit? Come on.
He's not like that at all. He's probably the sweetest man we've ever met.
Hey, George,
Oh, yeah.
I was
He's
just
so
sitting
great.
here reading the book, and I had some questions about these panels. Thought maybe you could answer them.
But
Can you tell
I'm
me
with
what
my
happens
family.
in next month's issue?
you know what I mean? It's the most surreal thing because I obviously saved his name, and I pick it up, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I was like, please don't get a call for service. And he is really sweet and really nice. And so I just want to say thanks to him because
Yeah. It's really cool. I can't
It
wait to
is.
actually see it.
I know I can't wait to get it in.
And it's cool because it is like him. It's Joss or it's George is doing the closest thing to cheesecake he can do
'Cause he doesn't
it's
do
like
it.
she's still like she's proportioned more realistically than like normal Satana is.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't look like him doing J. Scott Campbell art.
Yeah, but she's still like sexy.
Oh yeah, no, it's
And
great.
it's and even like this is how much of a nerd I am in the boots that she has. So he went old school. So she has these boots that has fur on it, and the old ones have like a goat's head, and he put that in the boots. I'm like, oh, he's going really old school with it. I freaking love it. So he definitely went with the Romita Satana. So I was really happy. It's
cool.
So I just want to say thanks, and it made my day.
Just imagine while you're on the phone call, you get a call over the police scanner, like, oh my, we got a double homicide. What's that? What's
I'm
that?
talking to George's.
What's that, Ryan? Nothing.
Hey, Georges, can I get Joss's number, please? So yeah, it was a trip because he's such a great guy, and he always takes time to talk to us, and that he thought enough of me to call me and let me know that he didn't forget about me, and the artwork is stunning. And of all the people at Denver Comic Con, I always thank him the most because, one, he became a favorite artist of mine just from reading Buffy, and two, he became one of my favorite people there because he's just a nice man, and it's funny because he's asking me when I asked him to draw the full figure, he said, "Well, how much should I charge you for the ones I drew previously?" I said, "You gave them to me." I said, "You can charge me whatever you want." He said, "Well, I usually charge $150, but come see me on Sunday. We'll figure it out."
That's still really good.
No, that's
it's amazing.
No, so
150 is crazy. Good.
I won't mention the artist, Jay Lee, and Andrew commissioned a piece from him 2 years ago for his comic store, and he never got it, and he charged $750.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Ugh.
So the thing with George is he's really nice, and he takes time to talk to everybody, and that's why I wasn't upset that he didn't finish my sketch, because if you go see him at any con, you should go see George's anyways. He takes time with everybody. If you buy one of his sketchbooks, he'll ask you what character from Buffy you want, and he'll draw it, and he'll make it look awesome. And he takes time with everybody, so he's a wonderful guy, and I know we should get on with the podcast, but I just thought it was really nice and really awesome, and I appreciate his hard work for me.
So what are we seeing next week?
I don't even know what's out next week.
The two choices are Detroit and Dark Tower.
I guess we're seeing Dark Tower.
I want to see both of those.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll be doing the 48, so
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh, yeah.
whatever. Hey, let's start with what's going on around town with Bradley Haig and his G.
is his Jeep driving him around town? That's why. It's like,
Does
oh
it
man,
talk to him?
Yeah,
we
it's
need
like
like
Benny
a
the
video
Cab.
intro for
It's
this.
fully automated. I just get in, and the Jeep takes me where I want to go.
Yeah, it knows what's going on around town, and it takes you to the next thing.
That's right.
This is cool. This magical Jeep.
So if this goes up in time, please come out to open screen night tomorrow night, 7 p.m. at the Buck
Nope.
Theater, $5.
You've been pretty good about putting these up lately.
Yeah, but he's not doing it this week because he's got
Oh wait,
48
no,
hours.
you're right. Yes, you're doing next week.
Oh, okay. Oh, well then, yeah, might go up.
I'm editing this one tonight. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah, it'll be up tonight. Anyway, so yeah, it's a Canadian themed open screen night, and there'll be some Canadian themed prizes and
Bacon?
Yep.
Really?
Maple syrup.
Nice.
South Park on DVD. Yeah.
Got some poutine.
Not even the $6 Blu-ray?
Huh? No. Well, Will got like this bundle pack. I forget what the second movie is. But...
Team America. That's what it says on the photo.
Oh, that's not Canadian.
No, but
It's the exact opposite of Canadian.
No, but it's American, and that's close.
Close enough. And then at the Esquire this weekend is Eraserhead.
Oh,
too bad.
Hey, it's my turn to shine.
So Henry will be at the Esquire this weekend if you want to hang out with him.
Come say hi.
I wanna hang
no
out with
one else will
Henry,
be there.
but-
So.
say Henry, I'll go with you just so I can do like, I need to support my friend here. I don't like Eraserhead.
I'd rather lose the tip of my pinky than watch that movie again.
Understandable.
What else is going on? Obviously, the 48-hour film project is this weekend. I think you can still sign up for it.
You
Yeah.
better win this year. Fuck, dude. You've been doing this so long.
Can we hire those CGI guys from last year just to be part of our team?
They got their
I
own
know
team.
one of them.
Yeah.
Right? Ed's in it, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Ed, Will, and AJ, and yeah, they have their own team, so they'll probably three-peat.
That Ed is pretty great artist. Have you seen his Simpson cutouts
Oh,
he's
yeah.
been doing? They're pretty spectacular.
They're spot on.
I feel like there should be like a rotating thing where if you won one year, you automatically have a disadvantage. Like you automatically get musical. Like
Yeah. You get the bottom of the barrel
Yeah.
selection. Yeah. But ever since they've done the doubled up genres, it's really not like a problem to
yeah.
get like a bad genre. Yeah, I think that's it.
Does it drive in the same lineup?
Oh yeah, drive-in. No, they changed it to Emoji Movie,
Thank God.
Valerian, and Spider-Man.
Best lineup of the year.
So you're saying I missed the screening I wanted to see because of...
I can't believe you didn't go. All you were talking about on the last episode is how you're going to go.
It was really good. I was gonna go too,
you
but
went?
I didn't go.
Oh.
No, I didn't.
No, I was
Well, now you
gonna,
can
I
go
was
see
gonna
the
go
best
to, I
lineup
wanted
of
to
the
see
year.
Baby Driver in a drive-in, and
Well, you guys didn't go. That's probably why it's not.
he
the same
went.
one.
He
I know.
went.
Well,
Awesome.
1 out of 3.
I maybe did go see Baby Driver, but I just didn't go there.
You're dead to me.
I have a thing for you, by the way, because it's been like
That's weird.
No, it's your birthday present.
Oh, okay.
you just keep going down the stairs.
It was. I didn't come
like,
in
is he
time for
coming
your
on to
actual
me?
party for your actual day, and I haven't been on the podcast, but I have your gift. So
What's happening? What's happening? Ryan, do you have your gun with you?
Happy
just in
birthday.
case?
Yes!
Wow.
Top
did you-
Gun on VHS, and it's fucking sealed.
yeah,
Where did you get that?
Never been watched.
Did you reseal it?
no, I got online. So
Yeah, the little metallic
awesome.
tape is covering the box and the tape itself. So
Yes.
Wow.
that has gone
Oh.
unwatched for 30 years?
30 years.
31
You're
years.
welcome.
So next year for your birthday,
Wow.
you can have a party where we watch a VHS copy of Top Gun at the Alamo.
Is it standard frame?
Oh, and we can all.
I have no idea.
We can all bring volleyballs and play volleyball at sometimes, and like
Give high fives every time we spike the ball.
high fives. We can gnash our teeth.
So where'd you find this even?
I just got on Amazon. I just went on Amazon. I typed in Top Gun VHS. I wanted to go on Laserdisc, but the Laserdisc was like $400.
Return it.
So,
Get me the laser disc.
so I got that one. That was like I think $3. So
Oh, okay.
Brad, you've seen that movie,
I
right?
was like, I hope you didn't pay like $50 for
no,
this.
no. Like,
Because it's unopened. Yeah.
yeah,
That's pretty awesome. Factory sealed.
that's
It's like,
really
You
cool.
can probably find this really easy at Goodwill, Henry.
yeah.
But yeah, I think it is standard frame. I can't.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Because
Cool.
at the time that was made,
So I'll be
that's what
missing
everyone
25%
wanted.
of the movie. Or will I?
Or will you?
Cool. Thanks, Henry.
No problem.
Yes.
Gotta bust out a VHS player and watch it.
That's so cool.
Have you seen it yet?
No, I've never seen that movie.
Well, now you can finally see it. The
I
best
know,
way
I gotta
possible.
find a
The way it was meant to be seen.
Tony Scott's like in his grave going like, finally, somebody's gonna watch it the right way.
Tony Scott's finally at peace. He can now ascend to heaven.
Yeah. Oh.
No, he can't. He killed himself.
Oh.
Whackity smackity doo.
An apparition comes out of Bradley Haig's bed, going like, "You set me free."
It's ironic because that's actually a subplot of Kingdom of Heaven, a movie he's made.
But that's by Ridley.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying.
And then looking ahead, it's just really cool, so I want to mention it. RoboCop 2 is playing at the Alamo.
Nice.
And you usually don't do RoboCop 2. They usually do the first one, so that's August 18th, and I'll be there. I bought the first ticket to it. But it's the commentary one where the guys make fun of the movie over it.
Oh, fuck that.
So, but I was like,
Yeah,
it's the only way I'm going to get a RoboCop 2 ticket out of it. So.
Ooh. You could take a portable DVD player and a copy of RoboCop 2 and then some headphones. And you could start the movie at the same time and just enjoy yourself.
Or I could just walk up to the box office, get the ticket, and then leave.
And then go home and watch RoboCop 2 and sit really close to the TV.
And then look at the ticket, be like, yeah.
I paid to
Mission
stay
accomplished.
home.
And that's what's happening around town.
Cool.
Nice. This is real news.
It's real news.
Oh, we're not doing the Alamo?
Fuck the Alamo.
Wow.
Oh.
Did you see they got a new paint job?
Man.
No, I'm just
They got a new paint job on the outside or the
Yeah,
inside? Oh,
on the
cool.
outside.
Man.
This big like community art thing on the back.
Do you want me to do the Alamo? I had it pulled up.
Oh, you can if you want to have it pulled up too.
Oh, okay.
You do it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Hey, one of the things you can see though is Song of the Sea.
I was just going to say, I hear that's a great movie.
Yeah,
I've never seen it.
I know. Someone's had it for like 8 months, maybe a year.
Maybe a year. Place Beyond the Pines is playing this Saturday, which is a great movie.
Oh, yeah,
People should go check that movie out. Out of Sight is playing on Thursday, which is the 3rd.
Out of Sight.
Yes.
Soderbergh's.
Yeah. Soderbergh's, Elmore Leonard's Out of Sight.
I hope I can make it.
And that's all at the Littleton. Sorry, I didn't say that. And then at the Sloan's Lake location, you've got Purple Rain on Wednesday, the 2nd. You've got 8 Mile on Thursday, the 3rd.
Can I lose myself there?
You could.
Okay.
You Only Live
Only
Twice.
if it's in the moment.
I'll never let it go, Ryan.
You Only Live Twice is the Mile High Movie Roast on
Should
Friday
order
the
mom
4th.
spaghetti.
In Bruges is also on Friday.
That's cool.
That's a cool movie. You should, if you've never seen In Bruges, go see In Bruges for sure. And then on Saturday the 5th, they are showing North by Northwest, and they are also showing Moonrise Kingdom, and that's a movie party. So you can get some stuff. They're also showing Creepshow. Sorry, I almost missed Creepshow on Saturday as well.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Where's my cake, Bedelia? You bitch.
Oh, please do the whole show in that voice. Oh, my goodness. Oh, actually, really quickly, because I almost missed this, at the Littleton location Sunday, which we won't record again. Sunday, there's going to be a free victory screening of The Great Dictator, which is awesome. And then they're also doing a movie party for Steel Magnolias, which is a dope-ass fucking movie, and you should see that movie.
Girly Night. Make sure you say what it's called.
No, it's the screen is called Dope Ass Fucking Movie, and it's a Steel Magnolias movie party. Go see Steel Magnolias. That shit is dope.
What time is that Great Dictator screening?
Steel Magnolias is at 5 p.m.
Check this out.
I could give two shits
Oh,
about. I wanna see a
The
Charlie
Great
Chaplin
Dictator is
movie.
at 3 p.m. So
I have
you
to work
could
on Sunday.
Yeah, you could finish it's at 3 p.m. So you could go to the Great Dictator and then just leave a little early so you can catch Steel Magnolias.
Or you can drive to Sloan's Lake and see the kid at 6.
Oh shit. Yeah, but unfortunately you'll be in Steel Magnolias, so that's really too bad.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
let's get this straight, James. I won't be going to see Steel Magnolias.
Have you seen Steel Magnolias?
Yes, I have.
Make it to
Okay, well, then
Sloan's
you
Lake
know.
Sunday by 6, because I will see the kid in.
Yeah, that would be
That'd
cool.
Awesome.
That would
If
be
you
really
if oh god.
There's no way it's a film screening, is it? Like it's not 35.
Well, it's free Alamo, but don't we have
no,
to?
it's Denver Silent Film Festival,
Oh,
so it's
okay.
probably a good print of it.
No,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm torn because I want to see the kid in that setting, but I have never seen The Great Dictator on a big screen either.
Well,
and it's free.
Tune in next week to find out if any of us actually go to see any of these movies.
Yeah.
We're all too busy seeing the Emoji Movie next week, so.
I hear it's the worst reviewed movie of all time.
Will we get to that? Who knows?
Was that surprising anybody?
It literally has a shit emoji in the film. Cool. Well, that's what's
voiced
going
by
on.
Patrick Stewart.
That's what's going on at the Alamo.
Cool. So what's real news then? Like I said the first fucking time.
More people died this week. It's a bad year, guys.
Fucking wave.
Sam Shepard died. He was
Today.
Like just before the show.
The bartender from Cheers?
No. But yes,
That's Sam Malone.
That's Sam Malone.
You might know him as Chuck Yeager in The Right Stuff.
He was in a great little movie called Mud.
He was in Mud. He co-wrote the screenplay for Paris, Texas, which he got an Oscar nomination for. And
his last performance was in Bloodline, and I strongly recommend watching Bloodline if you haven't already.
He passed away at 73 from complications of
ALS.
Lou Gehrig's disease.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Aggressive Lou Gehrig's disease.
Yeah, aggressive Lou Gehrig's disease.
Get it right, James.
One of my most favorite Dennis Leary jokes is he's talking about Lou Gehrig. And he's like, yeah, Lou Gehrig died from Lou Gehrig's disease. How the fuck did you not see that coming?
June Foray passed away this week at the age of 99 years old. Good job, June. She was the voice of Cindy Lou Who in the original animated How the Grinch Stole Christmas, as well as Rocky in Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Rocket J. Flying Squirrel.
Actually, I know her most as the voice of the granny from
Looney
Tunes and Witch Hazel. So.
I found this out though. She wasn't, and I should have known this. She wasn't the first granny.
She wasn't.
The first one was B. Benaderet.
Yeah, but she. I think
but she kind of she consumed the role.
Yeah,
later on.
I think she kind of took it a little farther.
Yeah,
because she has such a distinct voice and she is such a wonderful performer.
Right, and but Witch Hazel was all her own. From
Witch
the get-go.
Witch Hazel's great.
Yeah, I love Witch Hazel. Like those.
If you get the platinum Blu-ray that has a complete Witch Hazel on it,
fuck you. You got it for $15
in high definition. $15 at Best Buy 3 weeks ago.
I think what many people don't realize about June Foray, which is amazing, is that she was one of the many people who was behind the campaign to get a Best Animated Feature Oscar category.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow!
She spearheaded that campaign like crazy, and in addition to that, she's been very active. She was very active in getting a lot of stuff done for the animation community in terms of like legitimizing the art form in the eyes of adults, I guess you would call it.
Cool.
She's very, very talented. She worked with Mel Blanc. She was in radio. She was on Jack Benny's program. She was on Armis Brooks. She was on like the whole gamut. Like she had a full life.
She was a very talented lady.
Yeah, she will definitely be missed. I was sad. I watched Rocky and Bullwinkle that day. I was sad.
The
actual cartoons. The actual cartoons, the Jay Ward cartoons from the 60s.
The one with Keenan and Kel in it?
Fuck you. Although she's in that movie.
Oh, cool.
She plays Rocky Squirrel in that movie, and
cool.
Animated Natasha, and I think narrator's mother.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
She worked until the day she died, from what I heard. So,
and then finally, Disney legend Marty Sklar died this week. He was many things at Disney. One of the last big things was he was the VP of Imagineering for 15 years, something like that.
Hell of a talent.
Yeah, he was a guy who literally learned firsthand from Walt Disney how to be creative and build Disneyland and Disney parks into awesome stuff. So
step one, cool build Epcot.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, but he was 83. So again,
good
for him, man. Like that's a guy who did a lot of shit in his life.
And it's cool when you're like someone who can leave a mark. You go to the parks and he's everywhere. So
yeah,
good for him.
Yeah, one of the quotes called him the Jiminy Cricket of Walt Disney, the company.
Aww, that's cute.
Yeah. Anyway,
and always let your conscience be your guide.
That's not the last person.
Give a little whistle.
Oh, who else died this week?
Jeanine Moreau.
Who?
Jeanine Moreau. She's a very extremely famous French actress.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she worked with Orson Welles, and
Orson Welles said that she's the best actress to ever live.
Oh.
And did she just give up on life? French joke.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
What'd she die of? Old?
Okay, Ryan, I'm
she was
take you out in the back.
So.
Okay, yeah. Again, good for her too then.
Yeah.
Great.
So,
Man,
yeah. If you want a recommendation for one of her films, The Lovers is my favorite of hers. So.
Cool. Rebecca Blunt may have also died this week, though who could know because she might not exist. There's a rumor this week that the woman who wrote Logan Lucky which is the widely critically acclaimed new Steven Soderbergh movie, might not actually be a person. I just think that's cool. I'm excited to find out
doing that for years.
who wrote that.
because his cinematographer is himself.
I know. It's great.
Isn't his editor like himself as well, but he credits someone else?
I
He
not
makes
for
fun
all
movies,
of them, but
he's
I
a
think
weird
some
dude.
of them.
I know.
I'm
Here's this guy.
convinced.
He's the kind of guy you expect him to make like artsy Darren Aronofsky kind of movies, or to go super weird like
Side Effects.
What's his face? But yeah, no, I mean, but even Side Effects is like just not a great thriller. You know, like it's not artsy and dumb and broken. You know, it's not Inherent Vice. Sorry, it's like it's trying to be a good movie. It's just weird, yeah. And then he does this kind of shit, and you're like, "What is your deal?"
Yeah.
Like,
He's a very interesting person.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's great. I think it's entertaining as hell.
I'm 100% convinced that he secretly directed Magic Mike 2, because the person who directed that has been his assistant director for every single film he's made since like his
Really?
first film, and Magic Mike 2 looks identical to and it could just be because he's like the assistant director, but like it's so similar to like what it is that
Like
it
Spielberg
wouldn't,
really directing Poltergeist.
Yeah,
it wouldn't surprise me.
I
if
know that
was
was discussed more this week as well.
Yeah, that little
Yeah.
nugget.
I believe it.
Me too.
I don't know. I don't want to believe it, but
You know what I do want to believe? I want to believe in more Olympus Has Fallen movies.
No.
oh boy.
I know that last sequel didn't make me feel good, but apparently they're talking about making an Angel Has Fallen, which is basically just Air Force One, but with more stabbing dudes in the face, which is what I want. So hopefully they can make a good movie that doesn't feel like a video game like London Has Fallen does.
I just want them to eventually get to Earth Has Fallen and just have it be a space film. So
And he stabs people with like space knives.
yeah,
In their
It's called
space faces.
Geostorm.
He fights aliens and he has to stab
Gerard
the aliens
Butler's
a
in that,
bunch
too.
in their alien faces. Oh my goodness. That'd be great. Rocko's Modern Life got a trailer this week. Wait, did we talk about that last week? No,
so.
No.
I don't think it came out last week. I just bring this up because I loved that show. And what's crazy about it is this one. There've been times where like people have brought cartoon shows and
Yeah.
stuff like this back before. This one, like I watched it, and I was like, this is the same
No,
thing.
yeah.
Like it looks exactly the same. All of the jokes are the same, except the things they're making jokes about are new. Like it's so bizarre to watch. Probably, I mean, my assumption is that they're just paying a bunch of like people in Korea to draw it exactly the same way the old show was.
We are slaves.
Yeah, I know.
Bears
It's
driving
awful.
car. How can that be?
I watched that so much as a kid, and I cannot remember anything about it except for, hey, Heffa.
Right? Yeah, like
That's
it's,
it.
It's just a tonal thing. I mean, I do remember a lot about it because my brother and I joked about it all the time.
But yeah, I don't remember any of like the plots and jokes and storylines at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, I remember like yeah, it's a tonal thing where like there were things in that trailer that reminded me like, hey, remember this and hey, remember that, and I was like, oh yeah, I totally forgot that was even a character, or you know, yeah, I don't know. I'm bizarrely really excited for it. So yeah. Did y'all see that artwork for the new Avengers movie?
Yeah.
Where the Nomad is there and he has a beard. It's so cool, man. Everything. I've just stared at it for a long time. This isn't even an article. I literally just have in the news as a separate tab the fucking artwork because I'm like
the 3-panel poster thing.
Yeah. Because the guy who drew it tweeted it out during Comic-Con
I
last
saw
week.
a joker that like, wow, Thanos is going pretty casual.
I know, yeah, he is. Because by the second movie, he'll like put on a big cloak and be like, "Now I'm in my military garb. Now that you guys have kicked me in the shins real hard."
I was so stoked when I saw Atomic Blonde because the new Thor Ragnarok trailer was before it. That like the
So
cool like
cool.
80s.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
That's a perfect trailer for in front of Atomic Blonde.
Yeah.
Man.
I was surprised it was there. I was like, wow, that came out fast on here.
Yeah, man. Sorry, I'm just gonna keep staring at this for a second. Blade Runner is not going to have any narration, which is good. It was sort of part of an interview this week where Denis Villeneuve said that like he for a long time didn't even know about any of the controversies, so he like saw the original in theaters and thought like this is cool, and then when he was one of those people, I had some friends when I was a kid who swore by the narration version because they're like, I don't know how you would understand what was going on in that movie. And I'm like, yeah, you're not supposed to really understand what's going on in that movie. And then said that, he believes that the correct version you should see before the new movie is, of course, the final cut, because he knows how he's getting paid, which is by Scott-Free Productions. So, anyway. And then the very last thing that I have is that the Transformers spin-off Bumblebee is going to maybe star John Cena, which makes that movie perfect.
John Cena!
Because the only thing that can make a dumb Transformer movie with cars that turn into robots better is America's top wrestler.
You can't see me.
I mean, I don't mean The Rock. The Rock is an actual superstar, great film star. John Cena is the kind of trash I want to put in a Transformer
It's really
movie.
interesting. I don't really watch wrestling anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I still watch
I hear it's
it
terrible
from the 80s and 90s when I was growing up. But every time Cena comes out, half the people love him. The other half can't stand his fucking guts.
Well, because he's just too clean, man.
And if you go to YouTube, you can watch it. The Rock wrestled Cena in WrestleMania 29 or something like that.
Sure. It was a recent one.
Yeah, and it was hyped because The Rock came back a year before, and they hyped it for a year. And The Rock won, and everyone thought Cena would win it. And it was a really interesting crowd reaction. You have to watch wrestling to appreciate it, but some people loved him, and when people hated him, and when The Rock rock bottomed him, everything just went crazy, and everyone was so happy. It's pretty interesting. I mean, he's whatever to me. I mean, I don't care. But
I like him as an actual actor. He's that guy who I feel like has just never found the right movie to become The Rock, but has the potential to do it. You know, because he was in Trainwreck, and he was really funny in that.
He's in if you have HBO Go, that Tour de Pharmacy, which is the new Andy Samberg mockumentary.
Oh, cool!
He's in that, and he's really good in that.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I really like the guy. I'm only kind of joking, in that I will go see a dumb Transformers
he's
spin-off.
pretty much like Mark Wahlberg, anyways.
Right? He might be better. Mark Wahlberg can be good sometimes, and then sometimes in a Transformer movie, Mark Wahlberg kind of phones it in. Whereas maybe John Cena will be like, no, man, I'm going to make this a fun-ass action movie where my car turns into a robot.
The director of the Bumblebee movie gives me hope for it. So.
Oh, who's directing it? I forgot.
The Kubo guy.
Oh, that's right.
So
yeah.
Nope.
Just saying.
Still not going to work.
Oh, no, it's still a movie where cars turn into robots.
I forgot that a Transformers movie came out this year, because I haven't seen it, and I never will.
Dude, you should check it out. It's dumb as shit.
No, Ryan, you made the right choice.
I love all the Transformers movies. You probably don't need to see this one.
Oh, no, you won't like it, but Brad liked it.
So here's how my Transformer viewing goes. First one, didn't see the second one. Saw the third and fourth and fifth one, won't see the sixth one. Or saw the third and fourth.
This is the fifth one.
Yeah, so saw the third and fourth and won't see the fifth.
Yeah. You've missed... This one's better than some of the ones you've seen and worse than some of the ones you've seen. So there you go. You've seen the best one.
So it's just basically shit on top of shit.
Yeah, but this one's really fun. Anyway, it doesn't matter. That is news unless I missed something.
Tom Hardy's going to be Venom. Did you get that?
Right, shit, I forgot about the fact that Tom Hardy's going to be Venom.
We are Venom.
Can we keep that going?
Yeah, man.
And we are Venom.
Actually, there was a big one I forgot, which is that Disney's apparently going to make a sequel to The Rocketeer. An actual sequel to the original Rocketeer. Can you believe it? Oh, my God.
I will never believe Venom is actually happening until it starts production. And even then, until I see it, in theaters, I won't believe it's
being directed by Ridley Scott.
Is it?
No.
I'm like, is it? I actually got... No, it's being directed by the Zombieland
do it,
dude.
though.
Oh, yes, yeah.
I know. When you said Ridley Scott's like, really? It interested me just enough.
Because that's not extremely out of the realm of possibility.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Yep.
James Cameron believes that he's going to live to be 150, so he's planning 3 new Terminator movies.
He's just producing them, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
It doesn't matter. So. He's been talking dumb shit for years. That guy's not going to make anything. He's going to make Avatar movies till he retires.
I think he's been a director for 37 years, almost 40 years.
Yeah.
And he's made 7 movies.
Yep.
I want to see this No Glasses 3D. He's been pitching.
Well, you can. There's if you go get a Nintendo 3DS, you can look at that.
There's a new thing. There's an article this week about IMAX going to start cutting some of the 3D showings.
Yeah. They're trying to get rid of it altogether
because it's people will go see Dunkirk in 2D.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they care about the IMAX.
Yeah,
IMAX is the cool part.
People don't want to spend $21 on a
Well,
That'd be weird.
So
I think it's run its course and just isn't worth it. Like it's not an experience that's worth
I'll talk.
sticking
Did
around.
I talk? I can't. It's been so long I've been on here. 1 week, I can't remember. Did I talk about seeing Spider-Man in IMAX?
Yeah.
Okay, that was the week before, right?
Yeah.
That was still pretty good.
Yeah,
but it ran its course. I mean, like you said, it ran its course. I mean, like it ran longer than the original 3D fad did.
True, and it was better. It is a cool experience sometimes. How to Train Your Dragon in 3D was awesome and the right way to watch that movie.
Excuse me,
Jackass
Harold
3D is-
Harold and Kumar
Jackass
3D
3D is
Christmas.
No,
No.
Jackass
very
3D.
genuinely.
Yeah, that one we can agree on.
The correct way to watch How to Train Your Dragon 1 and probably 2 was in 3D.
I will say, Jackass in 3D when the dildo's coming across the screen is pretty funny.
Yeah, there was some dumb shit in there that was great. Yeah,
because they knew it was like a completely blue and just this dildo shooting at you. That's how it works.
Drive Angry in 3D was fun.
Yeah, but that movie is just awesome. That movie, yeah.
Piranha 3D.
I think I saw Mad Max Fury Road in 3D.
I did, yeah. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
There's something like Spider-Man works really well in 3D.
Yeah, any time that there's stuff separated from the edge of the screen, floating in the middle of air, like space stuff, is cool in 3D. The opening
Gravity was
sequence,
great in 3D.
Yeah, the opening sequence of Transformers 2 is amazing 3D. Yeah,
Are they in space in Transformers 2?
yeah. There's a like literally just the opening shot is like
Oh,
a
yeah.
spaceship
Yeah,
flying
yeah.
through some space shit, and you're like, this is awesome.
I will say my in-laws have one of those really expensive Sony 3D TVs that they don't make anymore that they got when they were like $2,400.
Yeah,
And I watched Civil War on it in 3D, and it looked pretty awesome. Because if you black out everything, I mean, the screen is like 50 inches, maybe 48. So it's like this. And,
Yeah.
I mean, it adds depth. I mean, it was pretty amazing in 3D. But they're not making 3D TVs anymore. So
right.
Still
I think
making the 3D
3D
Blu-rays, though.
I think 3D works if the director and the cinematographer know this is the 3D film.
Yeah.
But it's so often it's just like it's an add-on that just doesn't work.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, Blu-rays come out on Tuesday, which is tomorrow. We're doing this late this week.
I wonder if there's any 3D Blu-rays.
Probably.
DVD releases and Blu-rays. Colossal is coming out on Blu-ray, and there's a special version that comes with a giant Mondo monster statue thingy.
The only thing that's a bummer about that is it has a deleted scene as a special feature.
That's because that movie's so perfect they only need to delete one scene. Actually, no, that doesn't make your point. Your point is some
See, what
featurettes would be cool.
I just want to. I know I might be one of the few people that still love commentaries, but I would love to hear like the writer of that movie and take you through the process of writing it.
I think it's the director.
Yeah, or the director, because I don't want to spoil the twist in it because it's still pretty fresh, but to see that movie, I think would be interesting to see what state of mind they were in, where they came up with the idea.
Yeah,
It's really interesting to see like if it started with the twist they built it around, or if they made the movie and then made the twist.
Or they had an idea for the character and then like, oh, that's where the twist has to come.
Yeah.
Because
and also like they had interviews with him in the pre-show for it at Alamo, and he seems like a genuinely interesting person that I would like to see like a commentary from.
Yeah,
so
that's a bummer.
I wonder if he does too much coke to sit still that long, because he's a crazy guy.
Yeah,
I'm bummed they abandoned all the cool like production marketing art.
Oh yeah, the cover.
That's the cover.
The
is,
real
like,
Blu-ray
generic.
cover is awful. Yeah.
I wonder if there's gonna be like a special like neon release.
I hope
You'd
so.
hope
Maybe because it's a because it's an Alamo
Because
release.
like,
maybe they'll do like a cool, awesome Mondo release or something like that.
Yeah, because they used to. Because I have the Quiet Room, which is awesome if you haven't seen it. But the original.
You mean the keeping room?
Yeah. What's the one with the westerns? The keeping room.
It's the keeping room.
The keeping room.
No, it's okay.
So the original cover is basically the actors on it. Like, oh, that's cool. But the reverse of it is like orange and red, kind of. I can't describe it, but it's like the keeping room's like written in like ink, and it looks really cool. So you can reverse it to that cover.
I think my spring
Spring
Blu-ray
is the same
also
way like
reversible.
that, yeah.
So maybe this one's reversible, and they're just not showing us what the good cover is.
I hope so.
Because that just seems like they're promoting, like, oh, Anne Hathaway's in it.
Yeah. I also want to know whether or not the best way to buy it is at an Alamo. Like, do they get a bigger cut if you just buy it from Alamo? I'm sure they do.
Probably.
So if you got an Alamo in town, go buy Colossal. Going in Style is coming out on Blu-ray this week.
Yeah, watch old people do old people things and then rob banks.
I would buy this movie if it had a commentary with those three guys sitting in a room talking about making a movie.
Sweet.
Because that's the charming part of that movie was just those guys being fun and old.
Or I would take Kevin Spacey impersonating Michael Caine doing commentary, because that would be awesome.
That would be pretty good too. Yeah. Cool. Similarly forgettable, The Circle is out on Blu-ray this week.
Oh fuck! Worst movie of the year.
That's a movie that was out this year.
Oh man, that's a movie that has 2 stars in it that should be able to make a movie
can't
bankable.
elevate it.
I know, it's just such a shame.
I think even John Boyega's in it, and you're like, why is he here? He's good, and he's in 4 scenes.
Patton Oswalt's only got he's in a lot of scenes, but he's doing nothing.
Yeah.
Let's not forget Mr. Boyhood. He's also in there.
Oh
for some
god, yeah,
reason.
and then he gets attacked by a drone on a freaking
Drives off a bridge.
Oh god. Oh boy.
Why would you just leave me alone?
Who are you?
What's that? What does he
Well,
say
I'm
to her
not
when
your
they're-
acting coach. That's who I'm.
when they're in the hallway? When she's breaking up with him, or
I can't freaking remember.
or he's mad because she posted his antler stuff online.
I'm a killer.
Yeah.
You can't go a deer killer, man.
Deer killer.
Deer killer.
Fucking makes antlers out of it. What the? Who wrote this trite garbage?
Yeah, do people know that deer don't have to die to collect their antlers?
They just drop that shit,
Yeah.
man.
They just molt.
That's literally how they grow. Anyway, well, instead of watching that movie, you can buy a Blu-ray copy of The Machinist, which is $7. Dude, go get a copy of The Machinist. That movie's great.
Never seen it before,
Dude, it's fucked up and good. That's the first time that Christian Bale got down to 49 pounds for a role. And almost died. That guy's gonna die young, and I guarantee you it's because of that shit he was doing.
Well, that and all the late weight fluctuation because of how fat he got for American Hustle.
Yeah.
Well, he was fired from one film recently. It was like a NASCAR, or it was some racing film biopic, and they fired him because he was like, "I'm going to gain 100 pounds for it." They're like, "No, that's a liability. We can't let you do that."
Man, it was just insane.
Well, good for you.
The Machinist is a really cool little thriller that he did, so you should check that thing out.
One of his
It's
best
cool.
performances too.
Yeah, I would agree.
Christian, if you don't not gain weight, you can't be in this movie.
No! No!
There's some straight to Blu-ray movie called The Ottoman Lieutenant. I don't know. And also something called The Hippopotamus. I also don't know. Okay, cool.
Hippopotamus?
Oh man,
Damn you give them all the easy words.
There's a bunch of really cool steel books this week. So Escape from New York is getting a really awesome steelbook release. Which is a pretty good one.
Yeah, baby.
They Live is getting a steelbook.
And I think The Fog, right?
Yeah. Hold on. Just hold on.
Yeah,
this
quit
is my
sucking
job.
at the teat of John Carpenter.
Suck at his teat all day.
And yeah, then The Fog is also getting a release this week. They all look
One of my
good.
favorite interviews is Jamie Lee Curtis on that special edition from Scream Factory, which are just repackaged Scream Factories, but they have come. So if you haven't gotten them, you should get them because the steelbooks are awesome. But she said, "I can't believe you want to talk to me about Fog. That movie's a piece of shit. It's really funny." And she talks about how much garbage it is. But then she's like, "But I like working for John," and he asked me.
I love that on my steelbook or on my Scream Factory release of They Live, they put that sticker that just says "Buy Me" on it. And when I got it, I was like, "This is weird. Why'd they put this on there?" And then because at the time I had not seen the movie, and I went to scrape it off, and then watched the movie, and then I was like, "Oh shit, that was an intentional part of the packaging." Oh man. So anyway,
that's why Scream Factory is great.
I
Speaking
know,
of Scream
it's so
Factory,
good. Nope, not getting there yet.
you fucker.
Gregory Peck. I always save Scream Factory for the end. You know that. Gregory Peck's MacArthur is on Blu-ray this week, which just has a really cool cover where Gregory Peck plays General MacArthur.
He's also Atticus Finch.
He is. Gold Diggers: The Secret of Bear Mountain is getting a DVD release this week. I have seen this film. That's the only reason I wanted to talk about it. It's an old Christina Ricci movie from the height of Christina Ricci's career, which means she was about 14. And I forgot the movie existed. So
Such an unfortunate title.
Never even heard of it.
This week from IFC, House on Willow Street.
The cover's cool.
Movie.
I have no idea what the movie's about, but the cover is cool.
The tagline is "Evil has an address."
On Willow Street.
Yeah.
Oh, you know who's in that? That's the chick from You're Next is in it.
Oh, really?
Because I don't know. I was just fucking around on IMDb and I clicked on her. She's also in the shark movie called Bait, where there's a tsunami in Australia and there's great white sharks in like this grocery store.
Oh, what?
So I'm gonna have to get it because I also heard it's not that bad.
Wait, are they swimming in the in the store, or are they just like hanging out?
So it's like Tremors. Remember where they're jumping on top of the shelves, but there's water there and there's sharks swimming in between them.
Oh,
yep, writes itself,
cool.
bro. Writes itself.
Man. They could have called it like Escape to Aisle 9.
Why aren't you a writer?
I don't know, because Bait's a terrible title. And then very last and always greatest, this week from Scream Factory is Slither.
Yes, Scream Factory makes me so happy. Their Comic-Con like movies, because if you're a fan of Drag Me to Hell, which I am, they're finally putting out a collector's edition of it because the Blu-ray for Drag Me to Hell is pretty weak. And they're doing The Strangers and a couple other ones that are pretty great. And they're announced more.
Man. I want to watch Drag Me to Hell again.
Factory.
Yeah. Yeah, I have that Drag Me to Hell Blu-ray, and it's not great.
Yeah, the movie's great.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I love that
it's got
the spoiler is in the title.
Right. Cool. That is everything on Blu-ray this week.
My Mask of the Phantasm came in.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I watched that this week.
On Blu-ray?
Yeah.
Nice.
We'll talk about
what
it.
What else did you watch this week,
what
Ryan?
What we've been watching.
So, this is the stuff we've been watching.
Oh, I'm starting this week?
You are now.
Cool. So I watched a few things. Because I was moving, it's hard for me to watch a lot of stuff, but I kind of caught up on some things. I rewatched Kong Skull Island, which I think is pretty fun. It might be one of the most fun I had watching a movie this year, and watching it again.
More than Spider-Man Homecoming?
No, I said
Really?
one of.
Oh,
one of the 50 most fun times he's had in the
Yeah,
theater.
because I think the movie is actually pretty fun. And, I mean, there's really cool parts where they release toxic gas and Tom Hiddleston's just slicing these bat things in half.
Oh, yeah.
And then when he gets to the end, he takes off the gas mask anyways. I'm like, I guess it doesn't matter that much. And
yeah, it's really just green smoke. There's nothing bad about it.
I mean, but the effects in it are amazing.
Yeah.
So that movie's great. And they have some cool special features on it, how they designed the creatures and things like that. I watched Batman Mask of the Phantasm, which I haven't seen in a long time. And yeah, so The Dark Knight I still think is the best Batman movie. That one's really close because I think the mystery in it's really interesting. And having read Batman Year One since I saw it, I'm like, oh, that follows kind of the same beats of Batman Year One because it delves into Bruce Wayne becoming Batman. And the Joker's really great in it. Mark Hamill's great as a Joker.
What a photo op! The councilman and his wacky pal.
Yeah, it's and there's some like sexual innuendo stuff in there that's great. The Joker has this like bot that's chopping stuff in
his robot wife.
Yeah, he like smacks her on the ass. And he's like, I'm pretty good at turning you on or something like that. But it's great. And that movie it didn't get a big audience, but Kevin Conroy as Batman, it's really great watching him play Bruce Wayne and play Batman because I think it's an amazing transformation from the two characters. Because in this one, he's dealing with losing love, and you never see Bruce Wayne deal with that. And then it haunts Batman throughout the course of the film. And I won't spoil the ending of the film because it is pretty shocking if you haven't seen it before. When he figures out who the Phantasm is, who the Joker figures out who the Phantasm is, and it's dark. The Phantasm's going around killing people, and Batman's trying to solve why the Phantasm's killing people while he's also dealing with the conflict of losing someone he's loved. That ties into his parents, and and that's when I didn't mind the rehash of the parents' death. They didn't really show it, but it's him struggling with it.
Yeah.
So his internalization of the pain is really great. And it looks great on Blu-ray. I like. Have you watched it yet?
I watched the theatrical version. I didn't know there was a television version.
Yeah,
I'm interested to see.
I think they just crop it.
You think it's just a framing
thing?
Yeah, because I was wondering if maybe they cut out there's some blood in the movie.
Oh, maybe they did.
So maybe that's missing.
And maybe some of the more violent deaths too.
Yeah.
I actually think it's pretty terrifying when that one old dude who's breathing
Yeah.
When you find that he's killed by the Joker and he gets like the Joker smile.
Yeah.
And he looks like a corpse that's just smiling. I think it's pretty horrific.
That'd be cool because then, like, somebody like my niece who's watched all of the animated series
Oh,
and
yeah,
loves it.
Yeah,
like then she could watch that version because it's edited for TV. Right?
Yeah,
like,
but what I really like is when they upconverted it and it looks great, but they also left some blemishes in, which I love.
Yeah,
because it still gives it that the film quality.
Sure.
Like drawn on cells.
Exactly,
yeah.
and it's beautiful. I think the animated series is one of the best looking shows ever.
It's the greatest cartoon show of all time.
Probably, yeah. So I finally saw John Wick 2.
Cool!
It's pretty awesome.
I know.
Again, it's like the first John Wick where I don't understand the world they're in.
Doesn't matter.
But there's the scene after he kills that one lady.
Yep.
And he walks out and like I like Common in this because he's like you working tonight? Yeah. Did it go good? Really good. And then they just start shooting at each other and they have bulletproof like jackets. I'm like, all right, I'm down.
It's so good. It's dumb as shit.
It is.
Awesome.
And then like they still get the Mario coins, and now John Wick can't use Mario coins anymore.
I know. What do you do when you can't use the Mario coins?
And then I'm watching the special features. Like this takes place like almost 2 weeks after the first John Wick. I'm like, oh, and he already has a dog that's super well trained.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know where he got it. Probably spent like 3 Mario coins for it.
No, it's just how cool. I think he gets it from the like a bad guy in the first one, doesn't he? I think
remember.
Like at the end of the first movie he replaces his dog. Like I think that's what happened. But
what's that dude from Hansel and Gretel at the beginning? He's at the beginning.
Peter Stormare?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's like, and you killed his fucking dog. But it's in Russian. I'm like,
it's so good.
I'm like, all right, I'm down. And then he runs people over with his car.
Oh, that whole first sequence with the car is fucking amazing.
Yeah. So it's like
so good.
So it's another one of my favorite movies of the year just because it's so batshit crazy. Story doesn't matter.
Does not matter.
Because, again, it's like they're trying to... I appreciate they're trying to get you in this world of assassins, but it doesn't make sense.
No.
And a world entirely made of assassins. Like
yes,
everyone
yes,
is
literally everyone in the whole world is an assassin. And the homeless people are assassins.
I know. And then, like, John Wick, like, sees a homeless dude, he gives him a Mario coin, and he's like, okay. And he doesn't care about the contract on John Wick, I guess? I don't know.
It's the closest thing to Assassin's Creed, a movie we will ever get.
Yeah. When he stabs Common on because that train fight scene is like
so good.
Because like
I like when they're walking,
yeah.
I think in the terminal they're far away from each other and they're just like under their arm, just shooting.
Yeah, they're just walking with
each other.
silencers.
It's ridiculous.
But I also like too because you
so
expect
good.
when the train goes by that they're going to cut to one and one of the guys is going to be gone.
Yeah.
Nope. They both get on the train. As more people get off, they just inch closer.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "I'm doing you a favor. You pull that out, you'll bleed to death."
You're welcome.
And I'm like, oh, he's going to come back in the next one.
It's in your aorta. Yeah. Because you want him to, because Common is cool.
Yeah. I'm like, all right.
I like when Common's in things.
Yeah, so that was pretty fun.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna go watch that. Remember that? Did you see the moment where he's shooting the shotgun and he runs out? So he takes one shell and loads the shotgun from the top and then fires it at the same time. What? That was cool. Man,
yep.
Keanu Reeves is good at that.
I know that. So remember that training video they were showing of him where he's like walking. So now circling on Facebook, my friends at work show me they have like a Michelle Rodriguez one. I'm like, it's not very impressive.
No,
I mean she's not doing Keanu. Like Keanu actually does. Some people might know this, but he does. There's this guy who trains police officers, and if you watch it, he pulls a gun up to his face like this, really close, and that's so he can shoot at close range. And he does. All these cool little like tactical stuff
that's cool.
And it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, because he does. He keeps doing that thing where he moves the gun back and forth, like he's checking the. Like if he turns it a different way, someone will appear.
I know, and what I like
shoot.
too is like, oh, he's doing press checks. So like when you load a gun and you rack it, you pull it back a little, slide it back a little bit to make sure there's a bullet in it. He does that throughout the movie. Like, oh fuck,
yeah,
he's doing real shit.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's so cool. Oh man, that movie's great.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's why I watched this week.
Cool. Henry, what have you seen lately?
Okay. Well, I've been watching a lot of Richard Gere films because I'm doing all of his filmography. I'm not going to say much about it because I'm just going to do one long article. Once I finish, I have like 3 films left.
Sweet.
So, but I watched. I discovered King Vidor, and I'm watching his films now.
Okay. Who is that?
Zach, do you know him?
King Vidor is a filmmaker from the silent and then eventually the talking era.
He has the record for the longest career of any director in history.
Snap.
He made his first film in 1915 and his last film in 1980. So.
Yep. And he made 8 films.
No.
3. But I watched 2 of his
Stop
films.
disrespecting history, guys.
No, that was more of a James Cameron joke, if anything.
I watched 2 of his films. The first being The Big Parade.
That's a good one to start with.
Yeah, and it's
is that the first one of his you had seen, or?
No, I know, just heard of him until like recently.
Okay, yeah.
So they added like 11 of his films to Filmstruck, so I just worked my way through it.
Okay, good.
But The Big Parade, it's good. It's probably my favorite World War I film. It's about this really rich guy who gets drafted and goes to war. He then falls in love with this. I think it's an Italian woman, maybe a French woman.
I think it's French.
Yeah, he falls in love with this French woman, and then it's basically how he discovers the horror of war. So, but it's really, really, really well done. Especially for it's a 2.5 hour long silent film, but it actually kept my attention. So, which is rare.
I would put it in contention with All's Quiet on the Western Front as one of the best World War I movies.
Yeah, and you can tell that one is very much inspired by this film.
Yeah,
so,
cool. Very much so.
And then I also watched Hallelujah, which The Big Parade is notoriously the most successful silent film ever made.
Oh, okay.
Like, it made way more money than people were expecting. And so he was allowed to make really whatever he wanted after that. So it wasn't his next film, but he made it a little bit later. So I watched Hallelujah, which is it's a musical. I think it was in the 40s when they made it. And it's an all-black cast, like jazz musical in the 40s. And so, and the fact that even exists is pretty shocking.
There's many of those, my boy. I will show you where they are.
Yeah, but that one's really good. I really liked it. So,
Cabin in the Sky, guys.
I also watched Room 237. Which is the documentary on The Shining.
Yes, it's like half conspiracy theory, half, hey, we actually paid attention to this movie.
I mean, yeah, it's like...
Because you've got cool stuff like, hey, notice how he turned all the cans this way? That's intentional. And you're like, yeah, it is. And then you've got that weird lady who's like, notice how this room doesn't have windows?
Yeah.
You're like, no, lady, that's not a thing. Yes, it's a set. Like, come on.
It's... Because, like, the director never, like, gives an opinion. Like, he's never like, this one's real, this one's not real, or whatever.
Should we clarify that Room 237 is about is a critical dissection of The Shining by Stanley Kubrick?
I said that.
Okay, sorry.
But, I think it's more an interesting thing to look at, and it kind of proves that if you dissect and overanalyze something enough, it'll be what you want it to be.
Sure. Or you can kill it.
Yeah, and I think it's an okay. I mean, after the first couple, you kind of just get bored of it. Yeah. I think it's more so that you can just watch clips of online. Some of them are ridiculous, some of them are better. But I think if you're really interested in The Shining, which I'm really not, then I think you will like it more. But
that documentary only works for that film because for whatever reason that movie is like a lightning rod for dumb things.
Yeah,
like the Apollo 11 conspiracy and like all this shit where you're like, no, guys, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, please.
Then I watched A Prophet, which is a French film I've been meaning to watch because I really like the director. Jacques Audiard is the director of that film.
Is that from the last couple of years?
Yeah, I think it was like 2009.
Okay, yeah.
Currently, Sam Raimi is apparently going to be making a remake of it.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. It's of the 3 films that the director's made, it's probably my least favorite, but it's still really good. If you're a fan of like kind of crime kind of stuff, I would definitely check out Jacques Audiard's kind of stuff. One of the films was in my top 10 of the decade.
What's it about?
A Prophet is about this guy who it's never really established if he actually committed a crime or not, or if he was just framed. But he goes to this French prison, and he's this Arab guy, and he goes there, and basically the Italian mob within the prison's like, you're going to be our hitman, essentially. Ooh. And so they're like, you need protection while you're here. If you kill this guy, we'll give you protection. But now that you know that we want to kill this guy, if you don't kill this guy, we will kill you.
Oh, okay.
And then it kind of evolves from there. So
from the title, I thought it was going to be like The Gift, and then it wasn't.
Well, there is a reason for the title. I won't really give it away.
Sure.
Because the film evolves a lot.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah, if you're interested in French crime thrillers, then I would definitely check it out.
Sweet.
I rewatched Baby Driver, and I think I liked it a little bit less because more of the flaws kind of sunk in for me. But one thing I just wanted to know, because it's not really a big deal, but like one thing I noticed that I don't know if any of you guys noticed it when you saw it or rewatched it, is there's a moment where he turns the channel on the TV, and the first thing that he turns away from is a news report. I noticed it the first time too, and I noticed it again this time. I'm almost positive that reporter is animated.
Really?
Yeah, like. In like I want to like wait till it comes out so I can watch it frame by frame, but I think they just did like a real. It's not like animated. It's like a block character kind of like polygon kind of thing.
What?
And I think that's what it is. And I'm going to have to see it like frame by frame because it looks like, because it's only like a split second that you see before it changes into like, I think it's the report on like someone driving the truck.
I've seen it 3 times and I did not catch that.
I saw it the second time this week as well, and I didn't notice it.
And so, like, I'm gonna have to wait till it comes out.
But I know the cut you're talking about, and it would be incredibly difficult to, because it's also like a J cut where like you're already listening to the audio and you cut to him, and so you're not even really paying attention to what you see by the time he changes the channel.
And so I'm going to, but it's like,
it would be hilarious if it was.
Because I mean, I'm not sure if it's like we just didn't want to hire a guy to come in to do it, so we just did like a quick animation of it.
Yeah.
Because it's literally like 2 frames.
Yeah.
But like it jarred me both times I saw it, and so I'm gonna have to see it again. But.
Weird. Were you high?
No, I wasn't high.
Okay, just checking. I was it's just worth it.
But yeah, so Baby Driver still pretty good. It's not my favorite of the year, and the flaw is kind of more evident when I saw it this time. But yeah, it's pretty good. Cool. And finally, this upcoming Friday, I will start my new review series, White Coats, which is a exploitation film series.
Cool. I like that title.
Yeah. Do you know where it comes from?
No, I just like the title.
In the 70s, when exploitation filmmakers were doing their thing, there's a lot of censorship being like, you couldn't release it because it's too lewd or whatever.
Sure.
So what they would do was filmmakers would film one scene of someone wearing a white coat to kind of say, like, this person's a doctor. And they would come and they'd be like, here's why this film's educational. And then that's how they would release it, and because it would be considered a educational film and not a nudist film, and so
sometimes you'd see introductions with those like or in the credits it'd be like introduction by Dr. So and So PhD, LED whatever, you know.
Yeah,
I was thinking like there's that scene in Weekend at Studs where he steals the taxi from a lady in like a trench coat, and then as he drives away, having stolen her taxi, she just opens the trench coat and she's naked.
No, that'd be better.
It's the 70s equivalent of when they came out before Frankenstein and said, "This shit's really scary. You probably should not sue us."
Is that what that movie's called? Oh no, Party at Studs. What's the Italian Stallion movie actually called? You know the one.
I don't
where,
Kitty and
like Party Kitty and
Party
Studs.
of Kitties. I think Party of Kitty and Studs, something like that.
Yeah, okay.
But anyway, the film that I'm reviewing, I think this will only be like a monthly series because this article is much longer. It's like a 5-page article I wrote.
Cool.
It's the review this year. I think James, you'll like it because it's a space film.
Cool.
It's called Nude on the Moon.
Wait.
Yes.
It came out 5 years before we actually went to the moon.
Oh,
So keep that in mind when it's not extremely scientifically accurate.
It was prophetic, is your point.
Yeah. So the 2 NASA employees.
It's actually the movie that JFK watched.
Yeah,
that inspired his Rice College speech.
Yeah. So the 2 NASA employees. There's only 2 of them.
It's what he meant by the other things
Yeah,
when he said. We choose to go to the moon and do the other things.
We do not choose to do things because they are hard, but because I am hard.
Oh, fuck. Actually, that was pretty good. Anyway, Henry, go ahead.
So, the only 2 NASA employees, because there's only 2 of them, decide, hey.
Sorry.
So they decide, hey, let's go to the moon. And then, so they build a spaceship. And their secretary's there, and she's like, hey, you guys should really go to the moon. It's like, you know what, you're a really great secretary. I'm really glad that you're our secretary. You never see her again. So they then get in the spaceship and do the 3-hour ride to the moon, as we all know it is. So they go to the moon, and who would have thought? The moon's Florida. And it's a big, lush jungle. And so they're walking around the moon, and they have these really great spacesuits that are long john underwear. And so they finally they find this kind of like rock. They're like, hey, what's that rock? So they go over and they look over it. Who would have thought the moon is inhabited by nudists? And it's a huge nudist colony. They're all hanging out.
You didn't read that when they landed?
Who would have thought? I know, it's very accurate.
There was a sign that said nude beach, clothed beach, and you clearly went the wrong direction.
And so they're like, hey, it's the nudist beach. Or not, it's the nudist colony on the moon. And so they kind of go around, and of course they're all aliens because they're wearing headbands that have antennas sticking out of them. And so they're hanging out, and it's great. And then for the next, 40 minutes, it's them hanging out and not really doing anything. And then one of the NASA guys goes to the queen, the moon queen, and he's like, yo, moon queen, have this chocolate. So she eats the chocolate, and then they fall in love.
Yes. I thought you were going to say it was like a diuretic.
No. And so then the older NASA guy comes to them and he's like, hey, we need to go because, the camera, it's full of pictures. We got to go. We're going to run out of oxygen soon.
We've stolen all these pictures of the nudists.
No, they've been taking photos this entire time. Don't worry. It makes sense. And so they're like, we gotta go. And so he's like, but I can't. I love the Moon Queen. And he's like, which they've known each other for maybe 5 minutes now.
This is when the conflict is introduced to them.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm not going to leave. I'm going to die here with the Moon Queen. And so then the Moon Queen in her
but do the moon nudists have oxygen?
No, they're aliens.
So he's gonna die on the moon.
Yes, because he wants to be with Moon Queen.
Because he can't stick around because he doesn't have enough oxygen.
Yes. And so
this movie's got flaws.
Yeah. And so then the Moon Queen.
Just saying.
And then the Moon Queen gives a voiceover monologue because the aliens can't communicate with the humans, as we all know.
Sure.
And so she gets this sort of thing like, I love you so much for giving me that chocolate. And then she knocks him out and forces them to leave. So they get in the spaceship.
Aww,
yeah.
That's
and
so sweet.
Yeah. And so they get in the spaceship and they leave. And then as they're flying back on the 3-hour flight back to Earth, the guy's like, oh, wait, I forgot the camera. So they have no proof that there's the nudist colony on the moon.
Fucking amateurs.
And so then they land on Earth, and no one believes them. And for
Jimmy, you had one job.
Yeah. And then they land on Earth, and they're like, and they go and they're like, hey, there's this nudist colony on the moon, and no one believes them. And then for some reason, the other guy who did not fall in love with the Moon Queen's like, I don't know if we saw nudists on the moon. And so he doesn't believe it anymore. And so then the younger guy is really depressed in NASA. And then the secretary comes back out. And the secretary is the Moon Queen.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, because before you said the secretary never comes back. So, okay, great.
So
wait, so does that mean that he may have just had dreams about the secretary being naked?
I mean, maybe.
Is he sexually harassing his coworkers?
Well, he then, once he sees, oh, wait, because he recognizes those breasts anywhere. He's like, oh, hey, it's the Moon Queen. He then jumps up and then profusely makes out with her. Which, if this was not the Moon Queen, that's sexual harassment 101.
How does one profusely make? Never mind.
So none of the astronauts felt like spending the time it takes to watch The Dark Knight Rises to go back to the moon to get the camera.
I mean, apparently, well, for some reason they were like, and we're never going back. And so maybe I missed a line where they explained that, but like,
it's only a 3-hour ride.
They don't
have any free 3-hour like things coming up in the near future, man. Because their schedule's booked.
If they didn't come back with all that good porno to sell, they didn't have enough money for the budget to go back to the moon, guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, this was all
Little
about...
did we know that NASA's funded by pornography.
Right.
So, but yeah, nude on the moon. So yeah, that's the first film.
Do you own this?
No, you can watch it free on YouTube. So
great.
Yeah, but yeah, I'll do this once a month. The article that I wrote goes way into detail on pretty much everything in it, making some wild accusations about the film. So, but yeah, excited. If you want to check it out, it's on YouTube, and if you want to read the article, it'll be out Friday. So yeah,
cool. Zach, what are you watching?
I wish I had watched Nude on the Moon.
I might.
That sounds like the most amazing thing ever. I did watch a space movie though, so I finally saw Interstellar.
Oh, good.
After
all right.
Probably 3 years of
sadness, depression.
I didn't actively avoid it. It just never popped up on my radar. But so I watched it. And I was telling James this earlier. I had at the beginning of the film, I'm kind of like trying to figure out like, okay, is this the present or is this the near future or what? But like it kind of like the importance of that goes away within 10 minutes when you start like seeing everything take place. I mean, the stuff with McConaughey and his kids is charming and whatnot, like how he interacts with Murph. The scene in the school is great where they're talking about like essentially how these kids are being dumbed down by like lack of scientific knowledge. The movie itself, like I thought it was very well constructed and like it's a really fascinating space adventure. I would kind of model it like as a 2001 type of adventure, so it's more of a thinking man's space movie and not a space adventure per se. And I loved. We've all seen it here, right?
Yes.
Matt Damon's character appearance was shocking.
I listened to the podcast and I've never seen it. Thanks, Zach.
hey, it's been a couple of years.
It's been 3 years.
And the internet is full of spoilers.
Yeah, so, but Matt Damon popping up was surprising, but then his character turn was even more surprising. And I liked the ending a lot. I thought the ending was very touching, very heartwarming. I cried. So I really liked it. I highly recommend y'all check it out. I wish I had checked it out in IMAX. I regret that. I also watched a shit ton of Simpsons. I think I went through seasons 3 and 4 like over the course of 3 days.
I think season 4 is my favorite. Is that the one with the witness relocation program?
No, that's season 5.
Season 5.
That's season 5.
Then.
Season 3 had. I love the episode where it reveals like how Bart was born, because it's all set up by a pregnancy scare that they're gonna have a fourth kid. But I also really liked the Mr. Plow episode. I obviously it's got the late great Adam West in a very prominent role. The Homer the Colonel, which is one of the few episodes that Matt Groening himself wrote, where Homer falls in love with that country star, I think is really
Lurleen Lumpkin.
Lurleen Lumpkin, yeah, which I think is a very well written episode. All of John Swartzwelder's stuff is still amazing. It's some of the best writing that has ever graced television or film, for that matter. I mean, like he is a genius. Although he may not exist, guys.
No, he's a hermit. And they call him up periodically for.
They called him one time finally in the season 10 commentaries, and they got him on phone where he's cooking steak, and at the very end of their little brief interview with him, he said, "It's too bad this isn't John Swartzwelder." And then he hung up the phone. So yeah, love The Simpsons still. Great. Amazing. What else can you say?
Did we talk about how the season 17's getting
18?
released?
18? Oh, 18's getting released, yeah.
Yeah.
And
good stuff.
And it looks like they're going to continue to do it.
Which they should. They always sold really well, and they put so much time and effort into them.
Right.
And,
I mean, they probably didn't sell as well
Fox
as...
is fucking annoying.
Al Jean explained it in an interview that they were also trying to help coincide the launch of the FX Now app and the FXX marathons and stuff. So they kind of... That wasn't the prime motivation, but that's one of the reasons why there was a huge gap. Is that they were focusing on that. I watched Darkman again. Darkman's really fun.
Take the pink fucking elephant.
And I got it on Stars because I watched the pilot for Ash vs. Evil Dead when it first came out, but I didn't watch the show, not because I was actively avoiding it, but it was just we didn't have Stars at the time, and I could only get that free episode at the time. So I bit the bullet and got a Stars subscription for myself, and I watched the first 3 episodes this week, and it's really fucking funny.
It's good.
Oh God, I fucking love it. I want to talk more about it when I finish season 1.
Like I said, I can't believe that show exists, and there's a 3rd season coming out.
I know. It's like, wow, there's so many hours of Ash now. It's amazing. I watched Austin Powers again because it's 20 years old now. Apparently, I forgot about that, and I think that it's weird because I'm a bigger fan of The Spy Who Shagged Me, which I also watched this week, but I think that first one is actually a smarter script. I think it's a way smarter script. The second one is funny, but it's also it's hindered down by some of the jokes already been done before, and then these new jokes that are funny, but they're not as funny as some of the other stuff. I think what's clever about the first Austin Powers is not necessarily that it's spoofing James Bond, but it's spoofing 60s swinger movies in general, like in Flint and stuff like that. It's a period of time that Mike Myers clearly is influenced by. There's stuff like the Burt Bacharach stuff is that's definitely not a James Bond thing, but you get that that motif with it. It's great.
I think I said it a couple weeks ago. I still think Seth Green has one of the best readings in any movie ever. Just expect me to have a relationship with you. I hate you. I just love his reading of that line. I think it's brilliant.
I love how it's he's got Vanessa at gunpoint, and then Powers grabs Scott and says, "Looks like the tables have turned." "Oh, go ahead, kill him. See if I care." What? You just gonna let him kill me? I hate you. Or Scott line, "I have a gun in my room. I'll get it. We'll both shoot him together."
Oh, that one's great.
Sharks with freaking laser beams attached to their heads. So yeah, but like I said, I also watched the second one, and even though I said what I said, the second one brings back a lot of memories because that was the first Mike Myers movie I ever saw in a theater. And I saw it like opening weekend, and like amongst the trailers we saw for in front of that movie were American Pie and freaking I'm trying to think of the other one. I think it was maybe one of the. It's something called Just Visiting. It was like a weird, like time travel movie that I really want to revisit now that I have the brain power for it. But last thing I watched this week was rewatched Wayne's World because it was on in my Amazon queue.
One of my favorite movies ever.
It's sucking my will to live.
He does this every Friday.
Stop torturing yourself, man. Live in the now.
It's one of my favorite movies. I fucking love that movie.
Use coffee and cruller but the thing, like, though, it was weird because now knowing you, because you're a cop, that first scene where they're going like, I smell bacon. Do you smell bacon?
Big bacon, pork products. You know, I should give cops a hard time when I was a kid, Campbell.
And I love Ed O'Neill's cameo too.
Yeah.
Oh God, like, why is it that when a man is sent to war to kill a man, it's considered heroic, but when another man kills another man in the heat of the passion, it's considered a crime? Whoa, what are you doing? Only Garth and I get to talk to the camera.
That's great.
So yeah, that's all I watched this week.
It's such a clever script too because they break the fourth wall continuously throughout it. Mm-hmm. And the movie's so goofy, and they have a bit with Chris Farley when they get through the Alice Cooper concert, and he's talking about how Mr. Big is like this huge record producer, and how he only gets this one channel. It's the only channel he watches in his limo. And they stop and they look at the camera like, you know, for security guard, he had a lot of information. You have to wonder if this will pay off at some point. And it literally is the end of the movie. It's way more clever than most Saturday Night Live movies.
Yeah. The Scooby-Doo ending. That's all I watched this week, like I said.
Brad?
I got skipped.
I guess you're jumping over to me.
Man.
Well, so you were introducing everybody, so now you're stuck at the end.
No, that's okay. I'm good.
Here's a little curly cue of the Dairy Queen ice cream.
What?
Yeah, at DQ, they have to put the curly cue on the top.
Yeah, okay.
I watched the Glow documentary.
Oh yeah, cool.
And so it was interesting to see like what the series took from real life and like seeing all the little details that became what they are in the show.
Yeah, like Mark Maron's character and where he kind of comes from. It's Mark Maron's is not point for point.
Right.
But like the background is there.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are just like, okay, that's a really cool way that they took that real thing and then made it work in the show. And
yeah,
you know, all the different characterizations of the different wrestlers and what they become.
I'm trying to remember the name of the wrestler. I think it was like Lady Samoa or something like that. I forget her. But her story is actually touching. Like by the very end, like.
Well, yeah, like she really she was. Like the face of the whole Glow enterprise, and then, she was really encouraging to all the wrestlers, and then diabetes, man, just wrecked her body, and then of course all the wrestling. So, but yeah, seeing the reunion and everything was nice.
Mm-hmm.
And all of them getting back together. I was like expecting, oh yeah, this one's not coming, but everyone I think made it. So
pretty much, yeah.
And then. Also, a detail from the show itself, that episode where the girls pay off the people in the Back to the Future line to come to the Glow show instead.
Mm-hmm.
On the marquee, it has Back to the Future, Dawn of the Dead, and what's the third movie? Damn it. I just had it.
It's a movie called Damn It. No. I can't remember either, but...
Yeah, I don't remember.
I spent so much time trying to remember it. And it doesn't matter. The thing is Dawn of the Dead, and I was like... I don't think Dawn of the Dead was the 85 or 86 movie, and it's supposed to be Day of the Dead.
It's Day of the Dead. It came out in 85.
Yeah, so that's a little
It's just a mess up in the show.
Yeah, someone didn't do their research.
Dear Netflix.
So.
Cool.
Yeah, I was trying to look up that weekend, like what won that box office that weekend. So I wish I could remember what their third movie was, but because they mentioned Witness earlier in the series, but I don't think it was Witness on the marquee. Yeah.
Literally unwatchable now.
Yeah. It does not make sense.
Yeah, Glow is garbage.
Yeah, fail. Yeah, so I watched that. I watched the Wet Hot American Summer first day of camp. I thought it was just a movie, but it's a whole.
It's like
episodes.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah.
But each episode is like a different amount of time. Like one's like 38 minutes, one's like 20 minutes.
Oh, that's why I didn't really check the runtimes.
Yeah, it's really goofy.
But it's just completely silly. And
I love those guys.
I watched the first episode. I was like, I don't know if this is that funny, and then I just kind of like stuck with it.
I still think Paul Rudd
showing up on a motorcycle.
It's probably the funniest thing in this.
It's so good.
Actually, John Benjamin being a can of vegetables.
It's
well, because they have to explain why he's a can of vegetables in the movie, and so the plot that they put together is so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
I love John Hamm being the Falcon. And he like murders Michael Cera and Jason Schwartzman. And at the end of the movie, he comes back. He's like half the hero, and they're like, "But you killed like part of your plan was killing two of my friends." Like, look, I know it doesn't make sense, but just accept it.
Yeah.
I love how they write out Bradley Cooper's character.
Yeah,
the whole DJ Ski Mask. It's me, your friend, DJ Ski Mask.
I'm very interested to see what they do with him in the next one.
Oh, they've already revealed.
Doesn't it come out in like a week or so?
Yeah,
it's close.
Is it this week?
Yeah.
Is it that?
Because they have the trailer. Like as soon as the series was done, they showed me the Netflix show. The trailer.
I just love that, like Michael Showalter and those guys because they're just so weird.
Yeah,
like they're a group of Stella. I could watch those guys do stand up all day long.
Yeah,
just bizarre and awesome.
What is it, Henry?
It's Adam Scott is playing him, and it's supposed to be that he got a little plastic surgery for like or things that like
he's playing who?
He's playing the Bradley Cooper couldn't come back, so Adam Scott's playing him, and it's supposed to be like he got a nose job, and he's like, I just feel like I'm so different now, and the joke is that none of them are like, no, you look identical, and so it's making fun of that idea.
Okay,
so.
Cool.
Yeah, Chris Pine being like the rocker,
the
secret rocker.
Well, I still do the thing. I know we're only 16 years old. They're clearly in their 40s.
Yeah.
I think they say something like, "Well, let's check back 10 years later when like we look the same."
Yeah,
or something. Yeah,
exact same time. But I'm going to be busy at then. Okay, well.
I know. That's so good.
Everything about it just dorky.
Oh, and then like the rich camp.
Yeah, the rich camp.
Constantly just watching.
Well, that I love too. The
two pop collars.
Yeah, but he has so many polos.
Yeah. Oh, and then where they're like they're discussing like the one guy's girlfriend. He's like still pissed off, and their like fun time activity is just tearing money in half.
Yeah,
like $100 bills.
I miss things like that so much. I forgot to mention. So I got this. So Andrew, my comic book guy, he'll always pull things that I like. So there's this comic that says Sledgehammer, and it says guest starring Satana ? And it's based on this 80s TV show that I've never heard of. But I was at Walmart picking up stuff, and they have the complete series, and it's like a Naked Gun show. And I didn't know if I wanted it, so I was in Walmart, and I ran this clip on IMDb, and the guy comes like, yeah, I went fishing. Pretty good weekend. And he holds up the fish, and they have all these bullet holes in them. I'm like, all right, I'll watch that.
What's the show?
It's called Sledgehammer.
Oh, wow.
Huh.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't, it's only 2 seasons, and I think it's only like 10 episodes each season. I don't know. But it was $14 at Walmart. I'm like, yeah, why not?
That's funny.
So I'll let you know next week if Sledgehammer is any good.
There was an interview with Michael Showalter like last week, and he was talking about the new season, and he said like, yeah, so it's like I'm like almost 50 now, and the show is now 10 years later, so we're getting closer to where we are. We're playing 26-year-olds now. So, like,
and then the last thing I watched was Valerian.
Oh, I saw that too. I thought you were
going to talk about it, but
yeah.
And I'm going to read because someone asked me like, what do you think of Valerian? And I texted back, Valerian is like Star Wars if it took place on Coruscant and Tatooine at the same time, minus the Jedi, Sith, and the Force, from the perspective of a hyper-intelligent race of Ewoks, and Han and Leia are both unlikable.
Yeah, it's a good way to describe it. I mean, like, my thing, I'm totally okay with more Valerian films, because I think the world in general is just fascinating.
It's vibrant, and it's...
And how they explain it in the beginning of the film, like how the city came to be.
I was super interested in the
beginning. I thought that was super cool.
How they introduced, like throughout time, like all these diplomatic missions, like everyone just meeting and shaking hands, and like they all just build and build and build
until it's essentially its own planet. Like, yeah. I think like the world is so interesting. Like it's interesting enough that I actually ordered like a Valerian book that I'm going to read because I'm so fascinated just by the world in general.
Yeah, I'm sure the book is probably way more.
No, yeah, I'm sure, but like,
but yeah, it's at every turn it's just like, hey, make some weird sci-fi happen.
Yeah.
And you just have to go along with it.
And some people might view that as a negative. I personally liked that because it made it so unpredictable. Like literally anything could happen in this world. So by the end of the film, I was like, I know what's probably going to happen, but I don't know how it's going to happen because they could do literally anything.
Yeah,
and so
I think that's biggest failing is like the two leads. Are
100%.
They're fine actors, but like their characterization of these two are just like I don't get. Like the one's really spoiled and the one's too cool for school.
Yeah,
and so I'm just
That's
like
my character.
Really spoiled.
I mean, it seems like because
too cool for school, bro.
They needed like kind of like a smart ass kind of like womanizer for the Valerian character, and Dane DeHaan just isn't that.
Oh,
and I think that it just like you would
it's
need
just
almost
unearned in the movie. It's
yeah.
just like first of all, it's mostly exposition, so it's just like okay, we're being told that he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have never from the trailer. I would have never expected the character who's like best friend and buddy is this woman, this like strong woman, to be the womanizing weird.
Well, he's supposed to just be like a smooth talking kind of like
cool
cop.
He's the Han Solo.
Yeah,
and she's the Leia.
Oh, nope.
and that's I think Dane DeHaan is really poorly miscast in this film.
Yeah.
And so, but I don't also like you need like a 25-year-old to play that character, and I don't know any 25-year-olds that could play that.
Go
character.
get that Spider-Man kid.
He's busy, and he's too young for it. I think.
Okay.
Like
dude, he's
both
doing
of
Nathan Drake next.
Dude, oh fuck yeah. Oh man.
Like them together just feels like a tween romance.
Yeah.
That just like is trying to be more mature than it really feels.
Yeah. And it's strange because Cara Delevingne actually isn't bad in it. Like
who? What?
Cara Delevingne, the girl.
Cara Delevingne.
That's how you say that?
That's how I thought it was pronounced.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I call her Enchantress. I don't know what she does.
Yeah.
But I thought like
call
she
her
was
Paper Moon
surprisingly
Girl.
pretty good, or passable at least.
I think they're both fine. I just think the characters themselves are just like.
I think like
not
I
interesting.
mean apparently he's written the 2 sequels already, and so I'm more than willing. I will see a sequel in theaters
Because
it's
to
also
go to Paris. I don't know what's coming out here.
Yeah.
Would you say it's fun?
Yeah, I had fun with
It's
it.
fun. Like it's about as fun as The Fifth Element.
Yeah,
But
Okay, I'm
with that,
on board.
With that movie, I'm still like left at the end, just feeling kind of like meh.
yeah.
Like
It's
I'm not really invested, but it looks cool.
I think it's
And then
one of
the
the most impressive films just alone and visually.
Yeah,
because
it's
the special effects in this film is incredible.
yeah, it's,
Cool.
Like and just the world building, I think, is where the film really shines.
And the whole thing with like the VR element
Oh,
of
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You know,
That was really cool.
They're running around on a desert planet, but they have a VR headset or whatever, so they can physically be on the Coruscant planet, or they can
It's
mentally
basically
be on the
like
Coruscant
how
planet.
I kind of
but-
understood is that like on this planet it shares 2 dimensions. In one dimension there's a city, and in the other dimension there's a desert.
It's a desert, but then the other one's a space mall.
Yeah, and so you can only go to the other dimension if you're wearing this VR goggles. So like tourists will go there, put the goggles on, and then shop, and then be able to leave and then bring the other dimension stuff with them.
It's a desert, so they don't run into anything.
Yeah, and that I think it's just a really creative film in general. I think it's like the dialogue is where the film.
Yeah,
suffers.
especially when it gets to the bubble part.
Oh, the bubble part's the fucking worst.
Oh, I hate the bubble parts.
That's like the
Fucking
only part
bubbles.
where I was like, I can't excuse this.
That's
Like everything else was like
These bubbles.
Okay, yeah,
Inexcusable.
it'd be okay. Like if in the sequel, I'd be like, you can redefine that and it'll be better. The bubble part's fucking bullshit.
It feels like this extra storyline that just doesn't need to be.
For context, the bubble part is Rihanna's character.
Rihanna,
She's
yeah.
a shapeshifter.
She plays this.
See,
like,
that seemed cool because she's like I thought she was going to be the Chris Tucker of the movie where they have to
But
bring
she's
her
an
along
indentured
to.
servant.
Yeah, it's weird. There's also like
Okay.
actors in this film that I didn't know were in this film. Like Clive Owen is in this film.
What?
Yeah.
Ethan Hawke is in this film.
Yeah.
Awesome.
John Goodman's
John
the voice
Goodman's in
of
it.
somebody.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
There's a lot of like surprising like wait, you're in this film, and so but like that whole sequence where Ethan Hawke is the pimp to Rihanna.
What?
And like he runs this kind of like burlesque kind of club or whatever, and then Rihanna comes out. She's like a shapeshifter. She can be whatever you want.
I thought yours was the best show ever.
Oh my god!
Like how many shows have you seen? Stop lying to her.
Yeah, like and it's also like the scene is also like because at that point Cara Delevingne has been like kidnapped.
Yeah,
and so he's like trying to save the love of his life. He's like, I love her now. I need to save her. I'm gonna marry her. And then he goes to a strip club and he's like, yeah, and just like. Come on, like
okay.
But then, like, what happens? Like, he gets the bubble character, and he puts the bubble. It's like she's like a liquid kind of thing.
Okay,
I'll give you your freedom if you.
Yeah, if you help me,
out.
I'll give you your freedom. And so she like kind of goes over him as a liquid thing, and then disguises him as another creature, so he can go into this one club.
That's cool.
And it's an interesting concept. Rihanna's not great, and so
yeah. Does she have a battleship to protect?
No, unfortunately.
Shit.
And so then they do it, and they go through, and
did her grandfather tell her this day would come?
No. And then they go through, and they get to like this, like the king of this one area. And then another thing that bothered me about that scene, they brutally massacre the king
They murder
and like all of his servants.
There's a war coming out of that one.
Yeah, that's totally cool. Like especially in this place where it's like humans aren't allowed to be, and so that happens, and then I can't remember what happens. Oh, they run away, and then Bubble dies. Spoiler alert.
It doesn't work if you say it afterwards, but okay.
Yeah. But I mean, this part just like it's the mind-boggling part because I don't know if you noticed this, but it took me like a good 10 minutes. And I was like, wait, that's how they're ending that character, because they fall down this hole, and Bubble gets killed, and then
I think I looked away for a second. It's like, oh, she got hurt. I didn't realize.
Well, it's not even that, but like she falls and like a rock falls on her and she dies.
Oh, I didn't see it.
She dies, and she talks to Ding Dahan, and then she reveals she's the queen of her species. Like,
I remember that part, but yeah.
Like,
that's pretty good.
Because she turns back into like she goes out of like the liquid form back into her thing, and she's wearing the royal headgear of the queens that came in later in the film. And she was like my people will always thank you, and then she dies, and it's just like, wait, you did how? First of all, how is the queen of this one species a sex slave? It's just
yeah.
The whole Bubble part in general is the one part I was like, if you're gonna watch the film,
fall asleep.
He finds
if
that
it's comic book, it was probably like like part 6 or whatever.
Yeah,
of
it's
the
like
series.
one issue in
and
like
they probably should have
Bubble
part that out of
thing
the movie.
cool. Yeah.
But it's also like, and then you weird about how like Luc Besson like went out of his way to cast Rihanna. Like he had to beg producers to get Rihanna in this film.
Yeah,
because they were all like, "No, man, she'll ruin the movie." And he's like, "Nah, I know how to make her good."
And it's just
no, you don't.
And it's weird that they made Rihanna the big character and Ethan Hawke's in it for maybe 30 seconds. Like,
yeah, whereas Ethan Hawke could have been an awesome Bubble.
Yeah, I wish he played the stripper. That helped.
Yeah,
but it's, I mean, it's also like I think there's parts of it that I do like. There are parts of it that I actually genuinely like about this film.
Yeah,
because I think the twist with Clive Owen's character, and his motivation for what he did, I think is actually something I can go along with.
Yeah.
Or it's an interesting enough concept that I'm like, okay, cool. You're an okay written character, and for a villain, you're pretty well written.
Yeah, but it's like it wasn't that like a surprising reveal.
It wasn't a surprising reveal, but
it is a kind of a cliche villain plot.
Yeah. But I think I
was frustrated that like they take him out by punching him in the face.
Yeah, that's kind of bullshit. But
like that's his punishment, and then they ship him off to space jail.
Yeah, I mean, like
for doing a genocide.
Yeah. Oh, so, okay, so we're getting there. Okay, so basically, in the film, it's revealed that like he essentially.
I'm gonna watch this movie.
Okay, well, the plot's boring.
Okay, great.
Basically, it's revealed at the end, like the Clive Owen's main antagonist, and like you see in the beginning, like this, like one planet essentially get wiped off the universe.
Gets Vulcaned.
Yeah, and like the planet just explodes, and everyone and on except for like 10 of them die.
Sure.
And so then, the film is kind of talking about like who are these people and how did that happen. And it's revealed in the end that Clive Owen blew up the entire planet on accident, essentially.
Oh.
Like, there was a war that happened.
Like, oops.
Well, it's like there's like a war going on that happened to get close to the planet.
Yeah.
And they blew up one of the ships, and the ship crashed onto the planet, and the ship was so large that it caused a mass extinction.
It wasn't his mistake. He was like, yeah, those people are tribal and don't matter, and so just fuck it.
Oh, okay.
And so that's.
But he wasn't intentionally like, "Hey, go blow up those tribal people." He just didn't give a shit.
No, he's like he wanted to kill his enemies so much. He's like, "Yeah, they're expendable." So.
It's like, and so his character's like not lower in that regard. But I think it's the whole like, because the full film is him hiding that, and him being like, "Here's what's necessary to make sure that they don't find out."
That's a cool sci-fi space plot.
And it's also because like and he says like to Valerian at the end like, you would do what I'm doing right now if you were in my shoes. Because if it came out that I killed an entire species, all of humanity would be considered the weakest part of the city that we're in.
Yeah.
And we would lose all power, and we would essentially be wiped off.
Sure.
And he said, like, I had to do this, otherwise it would be extinction for humankind on our planet.
Okay.
And I think that's an interesting thing, and I can go along with that.
Okay, cool.
It's not greatly done, but like...
And until... like he and Lauren Lane make the case of like, yeah, we should give these people back their little like hedgehog and marble thing.
What the
and
fuck?
Then
we're not even gonna get into that.
They give it back, or like he won't give back the marble part after like making the case like Clive Owen's wrong. He's like, well, I got to keep the marble because I'm a military guy and it's my duty. And she's like, don't you love me?
Yeah,
like you would get rid of it if you love me. I'm like.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Are we watching
know
Dune or are we watching Valerian?
Fuck you just said.
I know.
You're special.
Like just
Give me
about
the
time
map,
that
Ryan.
I'm like,
Give me
okay,
a map.
this sounds like a real movie. Then you're like, oh, then they get back the hedgehog and the marble, and I'm like, what the?
Which has been, I mean, to be fair, that's been established the whole time.
Yeah, it's
so,
actually probably more of an armadillo
No,
than
I
a
think
hedgehog.
Luc Besson's just all
Yeah,
coked
it's
up
like-
and he created this story in his head.
and it's just like, and so like, I think the love subplot
Sounds
isn't great.
No.
I mean, it's genuinely, I had a lot of fun with it.
Cool.
But
I'm gonna watch it.
I'm also pretentious shit and don't like certain movies that people like. So.
I like dumb, silly space movies.
But yeah, anyway. We've talked way too long about this film that
I
no
know,
one
we
should
talking-
see.
Are we done with Valerian? Fuck.
All right, cool. Valerian.
seeing
I'm
Atomic
tired. I'm
Blonde.
tired of the French fuckers.
Whoa, whoa.
I'm just tired. I'm just tired of
I don't
Clearly-
make any movies that make any sense.
Clearly, you haven't gone to see Dunkirk yet.
I haven't.
If you had, you'd be nicer to French people.
No, I wouldn't. They gave up.
I like
Wow. Yeah. No, seriously.
Please don't hurt our monuments.
You gotta go see Dunkirk.
Go ahead and walk all the way through our country.
I like French people. I just don't like Luc Besson.
You really gotta.
Fuck him.
I do like Luc Besson.
I know the
fuck
story
him.
of Dunkirk. It doesn't change my opinion
Leon
that they're
is really
pussies.
good. No, dude, just go see Dunkirk.
I know the story of Dunkirk.
Don't see Valerian.
No, that's not. You didn't see Dunkirk though. It's a
I
different
didn't,
thing.
but I know the story.
It's not about the. God damn it.
I know. I listened to the podcast.
Brad, are you done?
Sorry, what's in Dunkirk? What's the famous British guy? What's his name?
Kenneth Branagh?
Kenneth Branagh. He cares about the French.
Yeah, Kenneth Branagh cares about the French. Fucker.
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay,
That's
great.
what James?
Did I talk about fried green tomatoes last week?
No.
Hey,
wait. Yes, you did.
You son of a bitch. I rewatched Fried Green Tomatoes last week while I was building some IKEA furniture.
Nice.
It sounds like the most domesticated thing you could
It was
possibly
so
do.
good. I did shop. Dude, do you know how close the IKEA is? It's right on the street.
I mean, support small business.
Ryan is the one who drove an hour to get to the IKEA.
I would support small business if they made like good furniture that was reasonably priced.
It took me longer
Good
to get.
furniture, question mark.
It took me longer to get through the IKEA than it took me to get to the IKEA.
I will. So IKEA, I've built their stuff and I've never had it break.
It's great.
I've built things from everywhere else, no matter what it is, and
Yeah.
they've not held up.
Yeah. The two places I will buy furniture is garage sales and IKEA.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
And it's all modern and Swedish.
Yeah. My only problem with IKEA is that I literally knew what I wanted. I had gone to the website. All I wanted to do was buy it. And I had to walk through the whole fucking store. And I was so frustrated. It was dumb.
Well,
I mean, I used the shortcuts, but still.
You could have just like, oh, no, because they don't tell you the aisles.
Right. I had to
That's
go
right.
because it was in the office, and I had to go to the top level to get the things I wanted that were because I was getting like 2 drawers, right, and they have inserts in them too, and I also needed to know where they are in the warehouse, so I had to go to the things, find out where they were in the warehouse, get the little inserts that go in them because those aren't in the warehouse. Then I had to go I had to exit the top floor, go downstairs. You can't go straight into the warehouse, so you have to go through parts of the store using the shortcuts, which isn't a whole lot, but still enough. Like I could, but I already knew what they were on the website. I knew what I wanted, and it took me literally longer to get through the store and buy the thing I needed than to get there from my house.
So how's Fried Green Tomatoes?
Anyway, Fried Green Tomatoes is awesome. If you've never seen Fried Green Tomatoes, it's an amazing film.
It's a cute film.
Yeah, it's it's an amazing film.
It's a cute
It's really good. Basically,
you keep on saying amazing, but I don't think you know what amazing means.
have you seen Fried Green Tomatoes? So it's one of those like
Princess Bride.
It's one of those. It's one of those sort of late 80s, early 90s films where like an old lady is telling a story, and then there's also a story in the present tense. So Kathy Bates is the present tense where she's like, she's
first time ever.
She's in. She's like this slightly overweight, home wife who her marriage is not very great, and she can't get her husband to realize like that she's trying to save their marriage. And she runs into Jessica Tandy, who's this old lady who remembers the good old days where like your husband beat you. And Jessica Tandy tells her this great story about these really strong women who like leave their wives and maybe end up killing one of them. And there's also like subplots about racism and all this stuff. And these women like start a restaurant where they make fried green tomatoes, and it's great.
It's like your introduction of Jessica Tandy's character in this movie.
Dude, Jessica Tandy's
I remember
awesome
when
in this
my
movie.
wife or when my husband would beat me.
Well, I mean that is part of the story.
Yeah,
Is like
I know.
juxtaposing like these these different eras where
I know,
expectations
but
on
you're
women were very
simplifying
different.
it. And I just
no, I
love
was.
that you're
I'm sorry.
simplifying
I'm
it.
trying to make a movie that sometimes has really sad things happen in it. Really fun to talk about. But Jessica Tandy, anytime Jessica Tandy's in a movie, you should probably see that movie because she's amazing.
She's very talented.
Batteries not included.
Batteries Not Included is so good. And then anyway, you should go watch that movie because it's great.
And eat fried green tomatoes while watching.
I mean, don't, because tomatoes are gross. But I also went and saw Baby Driver again this week, and Henry's wrong. Baby Driver is amazing, and there are no errors.
Yep.
Actually, I will say, strangely enough, and I don't know. So I went to the Sloan's Lake Alamo for the first time this week as well, which is where I saw it, which was really cool. Why are you looking at me like that?
Your first time at the Sloan's Lake one? Wow.
Yeah, I know. Because
it's been like 2 months open?
Well, here's the problem. The Littleton Alamo Draft House is like 15 minutes from my house, and like very close to everyone I go see movies with. So it's harder for me on a Friday night to be like, hey, everybody, let's drive 30 minutes to go to Sloan's Lake.
I just would have thought you would have like made a point to like, hey, it's open. We got to go see one movie, irregardless of.
I wanted to, but sometimes I have very busy weekends.
Caught me off guard.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. But anyway, it was a good movie to see there first. I love the insides of those theaters, like the chairs and the fact that you step up to get into your seat. That's brilliant. Like that makes talking to your waiter better. It makes their jobs clearly a whole lot easier.
No removable cup holder though.
Yes, the fact that you can't like pick up the armrest between you is weird. That's bizarre. But
no necking. Watch the movie.
Right.
I remember when I bought my ticket to what did I see there a couple weeks ago? What did we see?
Spider-Man?
Spider-Man?
I saw
Dunkirk?
Spider-Man. It was after Spider-Man.
What was the other thing?
Planet of the Apes.
Planet
of the Apes. Yeah, I saw Planet of the Apes. And the lady there, for some reason, I couldn't get the app to buy my ticket. It was annoying me. So anyway, I just went there, and so the theater came up, and there wasn't that many people, but I chose the second row. And she's like, that's the second row. I was like, yeah, I like to be in, I like the screen to go around me so I don't get distracted. And she's like, oh, a man who knows the way to my heart. I was like, well, all right, well.
Wow.
No, I'll keep that in mind for my 17-year-old friends. She was really nice, though.
Yeah.
So she likes the second row. The lady at Alamo, who I don't remember. Because I don't go to the ticket booth that often.
I would say the theater I was in, and I've only been on whatever theater, it's like Theater 5, so I'm assuming it's one of the smaller theaters.
It is. One's the biggest. The one's huge, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I'm interested to see what the one is. Because, in Theater 5, I was kind of like, oh, man, I'd actually probably rather have just sat in that front section,
Yeah, so that's like
it's one of
the one I always get for morning showings. But, yeah, it's like 6 rows in the front, but they're like a good distance because they have a stage area.
Oh, okay.
5 is the end of the hall, right?
Yes, 5 is the end of the hall. On the right.
Oh.
In the hall on the right.
Never mind.
Zach, you're right.
It only had a couple of rows.
Sure,
in the front.
buddy?
No, yeah. I'm
right. So, yeah, anyway, I thought it was great. I did kind of feel like I almost wonder if it was actually that the audio was off slightly, because, like, I felt like that first dance sequence in the car where he's, like, turning the windshield wipers off and stuff like that. I was like, it's almost like he's not in time with the music perfectly. But it was, like, only so slight.
Like 1 or 2 frames.
Yeah. It just bothered me a little bit, which is just weird.
I know I saw... Maybe it was Apes there.
Yeah.
We didn't have sound like throughout the previews, and they had to like.
Oh, weird.
I think they're still working out the kinks a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, and a lot of the staff is new.
Because and the Alamos are so intense with everything. I mean, I don't hold it against them, but they would forget stuff of mine constantly, and they would forget that because when I was in the second row, the dude didn't even know I was there. Because I was in the second row, and the next closest person was like 4 or 5 rows behind me.
Oh wow.
So I think they're still, because I'm sure they have a alert in the back that's like, hey, there's people in these seats, and but whatever. It's still a better experience everywhere else.
Speaking of service, I'm getting a little annoyed lately that they're really rushing people out at the end of the movie because like they turn the lights on during the credits instead of like the countdown thing. For me, I'm just like, you guys are supposed to respect. Like, I know people don't give a shit about the credits, but like film cinephiles like respect those credits and those people who worked on that stuff. But yeah, like the last couple times, they're just like whipping through, turning on the lights on like early, so like you can't read what's on the screen.
That's weird. Yeah, I haven't had that. I wonder if it's just well, hopefully it's just it's one guy who's like, I don't clean in the dark. Anyway, Baby Driver's really good. I like that movie a lot.
I love Lily James.
Lily James is really great.
I like Kevin Spacey a lot.
Yeah, and such a crowd pleaser. Like watching it, even whatever it is, 6 weeks after it came out. Like my whole audience was having a great time and just howling and like, got super tense during that, like especially those early car chases that are so good. Jamie Foxx is amazing in that movie. And so is what's his face? Don Draper.
John Hamm.
Yeah. I wanted to say Michael Mann. Anyway, and the very last thing is I finally finished the first season of the Grand Tour. There's actually a second season coming soon. I had sort of like skipped around early on, and then for whatever reason, I'd just sort of been killing time and was watching the like other half of the episodes I'd never watched. And the other half of the episodes are all the ones I think I really liked. Like I fell off somewhere around like 3 or 4 because there was this dumb episode where they were just like they were doing like a weird Groundhog's Day joke where they kept like trying to do an obstacle course and dying and having to start over, and I was like, this is the worst episode of Top Gear I've ever seen. And then genuinely like one of the ones I just watched was essentially the special of that season, where they dropped them in Africa and they had to drive through Africa, and the episode was so good that it made me go watch the Botswana special, which to me is one of my favorite episodes of television ever, period, which is an old Top Gear like season 10 episode. So honestly, it kind of ended up redeeming the whole show for me, which I had dropped off of because I kind of felt like, oh well, this is kind of like phoned in Top Gear. And then now that I finished it, I'm like, oh man, dude, I won a new season of the Grand Tour because this was actually pretty good. So anyway, that's pretty much everything I watched. So
this week on Real Nerds, we saw Atomic Blonde. Brad, should people see Atomic Blonde?
It was all right, I guess. The music took a page out of the Neon Demon, which is nice. I like the 80s stuff about it, but unlike, compared to Glow, where it seems like the 80s is in the background, like, subtly done, everything about the 80s is in your face. And I don't know if I like it that much for this. And then the story I felt was kind of hard to follow. Some weird twists and turns. I was like, okay, I guess I'll go along. And then, but the 9-minute like single shot, 4 minutes in, I'm sitting there going like,
shit, yeah.
Wait, was this is all been a single shot? Holy shit, that's awesome. And then it still goes like out into the street, and it's like, wow, that's impressive. But as a whole, I'm just like, it's cool.
Henry,
I didn't see it.
Oh, okay. Zach?
So his answer is no.
I actually would totally recommend this film. I walked in not really expecting much other than Lady John Wick, and what I got was actually a pretty cool Falling of the Berlin Wall story, which was not really promoted in the trailer at all, as this movie is set in the 80s, or 89 specifically, at the fall of the Berlin Wall. It's not really a spoiler or anything, but I liked McAvoy in the movie a lot. I actually thought, because I've grown accustomed to seeing McAvoy do more kind of stoic roles the past couple of years, maybe. So it was nice to see him go a little crazy this time around, which was nice. And Charlize Theron's awesome in the film. John Goodman's funny in the movie. Toby Jones rocks it. It's pretty solid. I think people should go check it out.
James?
I would say this is probably worth renting, or if you have seen everything else that's out right now that we've recommended, go see it. I had a good time. Everybody I went with had a good time. I would say this movie is best once it's over. And what I mean by that is that once you know what the story is, I look back at the movie and go, oh, that was a cool thing. Because it's kind of a great story told wrong. Because in the middle, I got super bored and honestly kind of just checked out and was like, you're telling the mystery so poorly that I just want you to tell me what's going on so that then I can figure out why this makes sense. But I think the action is great. I think I'm going to roll back. I'm going to say, yeah, you should see this because the staircase scene is so fucking cool. It makes the movie worth it, even though they are totally cheating out a few times, but still.
I'm like, what? Where are they fitting the camera guy in this?
Yeah.
Because this doesn't seem physically possible.
But yeah, I think the story is actually really, really cool. It's style over substance, and I think they fuck up the mystery enough that I checked out. I was just bored in the middle, and then when the end came, I was like, oh, that was smart. Too bad I didn't care in the middle, but I will really love a Blu-ray.
Yeah, I think it's a rental. The aesthetic is awesome in the film. I actually really like the neons, the blues, and the pinks. I thought looked really cool.
Her hotel room is awesome.
Yeah, and this might sound chauvinistic, but I actually kind of like seeing Charlize Theron and like looking pretty again.
Yeah,
because I got used to her being, whether it's Mad Max or Monster, she kind of just started sinking into like, I'm going to be like dirty roles.
Method acting.
Well, just like the brutal kind of quiet kind of.
And not that she's bad. I mean, she's great in them. I'm just saying that it's kind of cool seeing her kind of dolled up again. That's horrible to say.
She was so cute in Mighty Joe Young. I've had a crush on her since Mighty Joe Young.
Yeah, I mean, she's beautiful in this movie.
You watch it, and you're like, oh man, yeah.
And you know, she's pretty badass. Her fighting is great. But the movie itself, besides the stairwell thing, because you're right, I have the same feeling as James. I kind of got sucked out of it because I'm like, just tell me what's going on, because she's.
There's a lot of scenes in the middle of her just changing clothes.
Yeah, and
it's so many establishing shots in this fucking movie. It's annoying.
Yeah, and it's. I mean, I know they're trying to set up an aesthetic, and I actually think like the girl on girl scene with the mummy chick, I think is actually pretty hot, but like but at the same time, then it's broken up with. Like, then she goes back to her being interviewed, and I think the pacing issues are the thing I have with it, where they should have cut down some of the interrogation scenes and just let them tell the story. Because I already knew watching, I'm like, I guess we'll play the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In escape and evasion. Proficient in intelligence collection.
Let's cut the crap, shall we?
And hand-to-hand combat. It's an impressive set of skills.
Talents can be overrated.
Lorraine, how well do you know James Gascoigne?
Enough to say hello.
He's dead.
Find out who's hunting down our operatives. A lot of brave men and women are going to show up dead.
Fuck.
Your contact is David Percival.
Well, let me help you with your bags. Welcome to Berlin.
Fuck's sake.
Trust no one. Oh, bollocks.
You look like you need saving.
So you made contact with the French operative?
Obviously.
I think I fucking love you.
That's too bad.
She's a killer queen.
I actually agree. Like the interview framing device, I don't mind it, but I kind of wish that I had less of it. Like it needs to be like broken up in like maybe you get a good one at the beginning.
Because I think it started cool where she's like Berlin. fuck. Like, I think that's cool.
Yeah.
And then it shows her, like, how she's all beat up and,
yes.
And she's recounting what happened, but then it'd go there so many times.
And sometimes it would go there, it would break the action, and then they would make, like, a really dumb joke.
Yeah.
Or it would just add complication to, like, this weird... Like, it would just make the plot itself more boring and knotted up and dumb, which I know is part of the point, but it's like... The movie feels like it was written by, like, Tony Gilroy when he was 11.
Yeah.
Where, like...
oh, my God, it's so
there's
weird
an
you say
idea that you're a genius, but you're so in your own way. Because it is. By the end of the movie, when I look at, like, what they're doing, it should be better than John Wick. Because this should be a movie where you're saying something about the Cold War and actually what it's like to be a spy or a double agent and all of these really amazing things. Like, there's all these motifs that you packed into the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
In basically a 5-minute fourth act at the end where you go like, oh, this is what's happening and this is why it's cool and this is why this character's really fascinating. Like, everything I love about her character comes out in the end of the movie. And so it just means that in the middle where she's like listening to tapes and there's music playing, I'm like, fuck, I don't need to watch you walk from a car to a club again. Like, I don't need to see it again.
They played so many, like, 80s songs, they actually recycled 2 of them by the end
Yes,
of the movie.
I know.
Because they ran out.
What if it's 99 Luftballons, but this time it's punk rock?
Yeah.
It's funny you'd say the Tony Gilroy thing. I would go in a different direction. This felt like a version of Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy for dumb people.
Well,
is
like,
the best way I can describe it, because as much as I love the convoluted story, and I was able to follow it perfectly fine, but it is convoluted, and there are points where even I was going like, wait, oh, okay. Like, but I'm still having to make that reaction?
Yeah.
To me, it's not convoluted. It's not telling you parts of the story for the sake of dragging the runtime out.
Right.
And that's why that's what the middle part is like. Just get to the point. I understand that McAvoy is a bad guy, and I understand that she has things she's not telling people.
Which it feels like the McAvoy's supposed to be this big reveal at the end, but I'm like, you set that up and like kind of let it loose 10 minutes after we meet him.
Okay, hold on. Let's have a moment and just say, if you've listened this far and you were interested at all, I'm gonna say the spoiler next, so just be aware. So we're all on the same page that she's actually the double agent bad guy, right?
Yep.
Okay, you all does everyone understand that?
I wouldn't say she's the
not
bad guy because she's actually a double.
So she's a double agent who is from Russia, was working for Britain, but was pretending like she's actually working for Russia, but then was working for Britain as a double agent. So she's actually the bad guy Leak, but by the end of the film, what you're realizing is she has hated the entire thing, and she is basically the falling of the Berlin Wall is a metaphor for what she's trying to do, which is break herself out of this whole terrible.
No,
No.
I was gonna be
she's not the bad guy. She's working for the CIA.
Yeah, she's a triple agent.
She's a
if you
triple
will.
agent. So she's working for the CIA.
But that's what.
So she was never working for Russia the entire time.
No, I know, but sorry, I meant like she's working for Russia, working for Britain. Like
she's U.S.
and they
working
all
for,
think she's
U.S. working for Russia, working for Britain.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
No. Okay, I'm still lost. She's working for America.
James McAvoy is not the bad guy that she tells them that he is.
Satchel?
Yes, she is not Satchel.
Is.
She is Satchel, but Satchel is actually American agent who was undermining both of them the whole time.
Oh, wait, so she set McAvoy up to be Satchel so the Brits would get off the American
Yes, and they would relieve her of duty, then she could just leave scot-free and be CIA again.
It's the secret story of how Reagan was able to get the wall broken down. Let's be honest.
But at the same time, her whole plot there has to do with the fact that she is very, and you only find this out in the last scene, she is very fed up with having to lie all the time. Mm-hmm. Like, she hates that life so much, and she's
I think you get
basically murdering everybody to get her way out of it to some degree, which is a really cool story.
I think you get hints of her fed upness with it, with the relationship that she has with the French agent.
Yeah, but it doesn't. It's not enough morsel to make it's enough to make me keep watching. It's not enough to make me interested in the mystery. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm like, it's like a rental because, I mean, the scene where she's beating everybody's ass in the stairwell
so good.
is pretty awesome. Yeah. And it's the way they do it, and you're right, and you find out that, because it didn't hit me too when she's running out and they're in the car. I'm like, oh, this is still the same shot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously they do some camera tricks to.
Yeah, they cheated a few times,
but it's still the same shot, and it's pretty impressive. And I think it starts when they open the umbrellas and she runs in somewhere around there.
I think it's really just when they go into the building, and then they get in the elevator, and then from then on, I think everything is stairwell.
Yeah, so when she shoots from the elevator,
it's the shot. It's the shot. I think. Well, I think it starts when she says "stay here," and then it follows her into the elevator, turns around her, and then it goes through the whole thing.
Yeah, it's
and then there's
awesome.
Especially, I think it's mostly a oneer through the actual stairwell, and then when you get into the like bedroom where she's fighting that guy and the guy's like duct taping himself up, there's a few cuts in there. They just hide him because the guy keeps coming close to the camera and whipping his coat around, and it was almost like annoying. I mean, it's just because it's me. I was watching going like, I see you, like I felt like a dum-dum, but still.
And just given like filmmaking wise, just given the space, like it has to be cut up, but the fact that they show it as a continuous shot,
it's awesome.
It's still awesome.
Yeah,
because there's like. It's a cramped space to get like a film crew, even with a steady cam, and stay out of their way while they're beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah,
like that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and you're right. It's a movie that I'll probably get on Blu-ray when it's like $10, just because I want to see how great it looks on Blu-ray, and to watch that scene because I think that's like a showcase like scene you can show people like this is pretty badass.
Yeah.
Look at what this is.
That scene is good enough to get the movie a sequel. Like I think that this movie will like. I don't know.
I feel like I did recommend the film, and I do still recommend the film because the action is amazing. But the action to me, like, there's points where I don't know what this movie wants to be. Sometimes, like, I think it really wants to be John Wick, and I think it also wants to be very, very clever spy movie. And I think most of the time the things connect pretty well, but there are parts where I'm like, well, you're kind of. We're losing track here on what you really want here.
Yeah, as evidenced by us trying to figure out like we just had a discussion. Like each of us had a different kind of vision of what.
It's not as fun as John Wick.
No,
where this one it takes itself a little more seriously, and I think it kind of hurts it.
Yes.
Where John Wick is like, yeah, I'm gonna. John Wick's double taps are always cool when he shoots them in the leg, then blows their brains out, and you're like, oh, they've never really had that. Being fun,
and part of the fact that it is like you guys know me. I love historical stuff, but I will admit the fact that this is like centered around historical fact, whereas John Wick's world is kind of ambiguous.
It's a silly thing. It's a silly video game.
It's a silly video game. Whereas Atomic Blonde takes place in a world where the Berlin Wall falls, and it's the days leading up to that, and that's an actual significant event.
What would have been cool is if she was given a gold coin at the end by John Goodman. I'd be like, oh fuck,
oh man, yes, that would have been awesome.
To the club. It'd be Atomic John.
No, next. I mean, by the time like the Berlin Wall falls in the movie, I was like. Okay, but I
again,
kind of understand why the movie is set at this time, and that was cool. And I just think that it also allows them to do some things where they're like, oh, we're gonna hide inside of this like protest or whatever. Like that stuff is cool. It's really just that the back and forth of like part of it is also like the way they set up James McAvoy as like, oh well, he's just this like guy who kind of went native and now he hangs out with the rave crowd. You're like, this guy ain't no Satchel. Like, you talk about Satchel like he's this big bad. You're basically setting it up like one of the guys in the interview room is gonna be the actual Satchel.
No, he's just a scuzzy thief.
I know. So that's why, like, the whole time, and then they're also giving us these little clues where, like, her name is on the list. Like, they tell us her name is on the list. And you're like, okay, so, like, I don't believe this. So when you tell me at the end, I'm just like, this is weird, and I just didn't care. Until they really told me the end. It reminded me of... like kind of like State of Play, like the American version, where like there were all of these twists, and by the end I was like, just let the credits roll so I can figure out whether or not this movie was good, because I actually can't judge you in the moment, because I'm just frustrated by the way you tell the story.
I think it's funny though, even though like I can even admit that McAvoy's character's like his place of importance in the plot is a little like specious at best. I love McAvoy's performance in the movie.
He's great.
He's so fucking charming.
Yeah.
And I think there's this weird part of me that feels like it does follow an 80s movie trope where it's like, yeah, we're going to throw real life shit in the background, but it's not important because McAvoy's making funny jokes and Charlize Theron is kicking butt.
Mm-hmm.
She's great in the movie, by the way.
She's really good in the movie.
Yep.
She's a great actress.
Yeah.
So for me, should I just wait and see that one clip online when it comes out?
Yeah, for you, I think you're fine.
I actually think you might like the
There are
full
other
movie, but
my parents really liked it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad movie. It's just like I think it's a rental. But.
Yeah, it's one that is really hard for me to recommend right now when you can go see Baby Driver, Spider-Man, or Dunkirk. Like, if you haven't seen any of the other 3 or 4 or 5 amazing movies that are out,
or the Emoji Movie,
or go to this before you see Emoji. Like, yeah, that's the problem. Where because somebody asked me the other day, Brooks was asking like what movies were in theaters right now that people should go see, and I saw it on there, and I'd seen it the night before, and I was like, oh, that's good, and then I saw everything else on the list at the Alamo at Swans Lake, and I was like, yeah, there's no way you should go see that because
go see Spider-Man.
You could go see. Well, we ended up going to see Baby Driver, right? Like, there's 3 or 4 great movies out right now.
See Spider-Man.
Yeah, see Spider-Man.
Baby Driver
see or Spider-Man again.
See
The Big Sick.
It needs a sequel.
Oh, dude, yeah, The Big Sick is right. Like, genuinely, there's at least 4 good movies out right now that could arguably be in a top 10 list. So it's just hard to recommend it to people. But I think it's
the best movie of the year. What are you talking about?
It's a good. Well,
I will say that my favorite scene didn't involve Charlize Theron or James McAvoy. It's when they lined up those young Berliners, and they grabbed the skateboard.
Oh yeah,
and it's to 99 Luftballons. Like it was, because it's weird because like I'm always fascinated by this idea of like how oppressive that part of the world was at that point, where like there's a shit ton of censorship. Like these underground clubs did exist. Like there were illegal dubs of VHSs back in the day. There's a whole documentary about it you can watch. So that scene was like, it felt like it was straight out of a comic book, which then I found out later on this is based on a graphic novel.
Yeah.
Comic books.
It's based on a comic book.
It had that feel of the grandioseness of like an over the top like action set to the power of film, which can be music in this case.
Yeah, I'm such a snob. I'm like, they're not. Everyone calls them graphic novels now. I'm like, don't try to class it up. It's a comic book.
Well, hold on. I'm looking at.
I'm going to call them the funny papers just to make it even worse.
The funny pictures.
Funny pictures.
I actually think this is a graphic novel. It was published by Oni Press, and it was originally 178 pages. So it's published as a graphic.
So it's
novel.
like Whiteout.
Yeah.
Fine. I think Whiteout is Oni Press too.
I think you're right. Yeah.
But anyway, that was my favorite scene in the movie, even though it had nothing to do with some of the best parts.
Interesting, Zach. Weird. Next week on Real Nerds Podcast, we'll be seeing The Dark Tower
or Detroit, maybe
The Dark Tower.
We'll probably see The Dark Tower.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm interested in Stephen King.
We can go. You can go see Detroit too, Zach. There's no. You can do what you want, but our featured movie is gonna be The Dark Tower.
Fine, I'm gonna go see the Emoji Movie then.
Do whatever you want. Great. Yeah. Great. That movie needs another 6. Oh, I forgot to mention. I saw Atomic Blonde and RPX.
How was it?
It's not worth it.
No,
they charge you another $5.
No, RPX is a joke.
It's supposed to have Dolby Atmos, but
yes. But when I saw, I was going to email freaking Regal because I was pissed. There's like a hum throughout the movie, and it was really obnoxious. And when you pay an extra $5 because the screen is bigger and it's supposed to be amazing sound, it sucked ass.
Yeah.
Don't go to Regal because Regal sucks.
And it was weird though because it was the only one that's showing it like after 10. Which I thought was really bizarre.
Yeah.
Because it's an R-rated film.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like, I've noticed that, like, in Denver specifically, there's a lot less, like, 10 o'clock plus films now.
Yeah.
I don't know why if that's just how it's shifting.
I think it's to...
So don't go see RPX because it sucks.
I think it's a
big ass
liability thing.
dicks.
Oh, really?
It's not even just that. It's also... It's a pay cut thing. It's like they're trying to shorten hours.
Did you see it at the Continental?
No, at... The Mills.
Oh, okay.
Mills.
The Mills has RPX now.
The Continental Theater, which used to be that giant screen, right? Like I went and saw Indiana Jones: Raiders of the Lost Ark there. I don't know, 5 years ago, something like that. And I remember going and being like, this screen's not that big because you're so far away from it. Like that theater is.
You have to sit
not great.
in the front rows.
Well, no, the screen was big.
The screen's big,
but again, the Atomic Blonde is. I have to look at the aspect ratio, but it's not made for a huge screen.
Yeah.
So it was like blackbarred.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Like a third of the screen wasn't even being used.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's like, oh, what a disappointment. And I was interested. I'm like, okay, I'll see it in RPX, whatever. I can't see it any other time. Who cares?
Yeah.
I'm by myself, so I mean, if I spend $15 as like $16 on a ticket, at least I don't have to pay for my wife too.
Yeah.
And as like, no.
There's a reason why there's no Regal in Manhattan.
Yeah.
There's one, I think. So.
Yeah, because they're stupid.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool. See you next week.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
All right.
Was that enough energy for you, Ryan?
Real Nerds Podcast is a Nebulous Visions multimedia production. The Real Nerds would like to thank the Alamo Draft House in Littleton and now open in Sloan's Lake. We also would like to thank Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics, especially Andrew. Our music has been brought to you by Sparks Mandrill and Plan 9 Studios. And of course, thanks to James's mother, our most loyal listener. Have a nice day.